What up, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Coach John, in the building. You know what it is? It is 10 times now. I'm waiting for my man AJ to come on through the spot. It is what it is. We about to set it blazing. Oh, my brother's already here. It's all good. Brother AJ.
What up with you, man?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I was just reading your post, man, to say, my prices are not, based on your budget.
In other words, if you want this work, get your money up.
For real.
Because I ain't budging.
It's like I would love to oblige you with your budget, but you didn't ask Sears and Robux. Could you get that suit for the $87 that you got instead of $192 that they asked for?
Hell, you ain't ask Walmart, and Walmart get all your damn money. You ask them.
Man, how you be, man? How you be today, man?
You know what, man? I'm feeling good today, man. Today was a good day. I was feeling good up until the time I had to put the dresser together for my baby. Like I listen. I don't want to put no furniture together. All these screws and corks and plugs and shit. I don't want to do none of that.
Well, see, because when you put it together, I'm quite sure that you have extra parts. You think that they put in the bag for nothing, but all the parts supposed to go on the dresser.
Yeah, and shit just that you can't do nothing with later on.
Yeah, ain't no extra parts, so don't be thinking that you got extra parts.
So up until having to do that, I was feeling damn good, man. How was your day? How you been?
Man, I was excellent, man. I told you I got all these poems that I can't find because Still Black was finished, right? Still Black was finished. It was like 220 something pages, and I was kind of happy. Then I found this folder with a whole lot of poems in it that I wrote. Then I found this other folder with some, so I had to read the poems, see if I wanted to, type them up. So I've been typing. So now it's I don't know how many pages it is, probably almost 280.
Wow.
But I'm happy with everything in it, man.
Well, you know,
I just want to make sure that
at the end of the day, that's all you need, man.
So I was happy when it didn't have all the poems in it. But I knew I was going to eventually find the poems, and probably, where are we going to put them? Where should I put them?
Yeah. But that's a good problem to have, though. That's a good problem to have. You got all this work and don't know where to put it. That's a good problem. The problem is when you got places to put it and you ain't got no work to fill in it. That's a good
problem. I never viewed it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what's up, man? It's Thursday, man.
Miss Betty said, "Hey."
What's up, Miss Betty? What's up? It's Thursday. I'm hanging out here with Coach John. Today is Thursday. It's 10 times now. We just had an inauguration yesterday. We just saw a whole lot of people that are still unrepentant, that did all the things that they did to cause the insurrectionists to invade the Capitol. And see, now we see people saying, "Oh man, white supremacists, man, they're a problem." But they weren't a problem when they was just our problem. But now we need to do something about that now, But it's just how America views things, because I was trying to remember what they call it. What do they call it now, John, when they say all these families are in these food lines getting food? They call it a food insufficiency, or they call it something.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
They got a new phrase for it, but when they deducted all this stuff from our communities, they didn't call it. They said, they're out here going to these soup lines. They call them soup lines. They stand in the soup line. They trying to get this help. But now it's there's so many families with food insufficiencies. I'm like, that sounds like the hunger we've been telling y'all we were for all these years.
Exactly. But I mean, when that complexion changed, man, it's shit. It's an opium epidemic.
Yeah, opioid epidemic, and we don't need to find all these people that stuff, strung out on crack and arrest them. We need dollars for this epidemic.
Yeah, they need help. These people need help.
Yeah, they need police when it was in the black community. Now they need dollars.
Now they just need help.
Really?
Funny how times change things, man.
Because food insecurity. That's what it is.
What is it?
Come on, community, say food insecurity.
Okay. Well,
And I don't really know, and I'm a wordsmith, but I don't think I would have ever come to the conclusion that it would be called a food insecurity.
yeah, I don't get that one. Hell, I ain't gonna try to get it either. I just don't get it. The real niggas is up there in the White House telling you what's going on. You better pay attention to them.
No, but and the other thing to get me is I see all these posts on Twitter and all these people talking about, well, Joe Biden said he was going to do this when he was elected. He said he was going to do this, and I haven't seen him do this yet. And I'm like, I know this house. I've been in this house almost 2 years now in Las Vegas, and I got boxes in the garage that ain't been unpacked. And I'm moving stuff around. I might need somebody, so I go through the boxes to find what I need for that instant and get it out and leave the box still unpacked. But I'm like, but they're saying, man, been there 15 minutes.
But and what I guess they didn't see the stack of damn paperwork he had to sign right after he signed.
Yeah, no, they didn't see that they had to pick up all the podiums that was broken in half and all the statues that was still holding Confederate flags and all the windows that was broken out, and the doors ain't even fixed yet.
Okay.
So the doors ain't fixed yet. But you want him to fix your problem, but he haven't even fixed the doors on the building.
In fact, AJ, they hadn't even take the fragrance of chewing tobacco and snuff out of the damn hallways yet.
No, did you hear that some people defecated in corners in the Capitol?
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, so it was a whole lot of people there. So who brought shit or who just pulled their pants down and took a dump? They couldn't make it to the bathroom. So I'm saying, so this is some horrible things. See, we're looking at the insurrection for real. It wasn't that they wanted our votes nullified. It was the fear of them losing power.
That's it.
It's like, if we don't take this election, now that niggas done woke up and they're out there voting, and we can't suppress their vote no more. We can't charge them a poll tax. We can't tell them that we can't move polling places because they're making laws. See, if you notice, the last couple of years of Trump, they didn't even recertify the Voting Rights Amendment. They didn't vote for it. And Supreme Court deleted a couple of lines, and all these things happening undercover. So we're not paying attention. So what 10 times now is telling us to do that every part of history you thought you knew, let's go back and reread it. Because right now, there are some things we need to know. Because every post I post, I'm like, I posted a post today and said that Texas was going to, the governor of Texas was going to take all the vaccines from Dallas, because Dallas said that they was going to, it was going to try and go to the minority communities because they are the ones that are in jeopardy right now. And the governor said if they did that, they were going to take all the vaccines.
All the vaccines. I saw that.
So what I say is, okay, so I just posted and say vote 2022. Because a lot of these people in these states that think they're secure, we gotta uncomfort their comfort.
That's it.
It's time for you to know, like Ted Cruz, if they're not gonna get you out of there, tell you that you were part of insurrection, if they're not gonna get you out of there or ban you from being seated in the Senate, I think it's time for Texans to sit down and say, okay, so who's running against Ted Cruz in 2022 or 2024, whichever? I think it's a 6-year term.
Yeah.
So who's running when the time is up? So let's start that now. Let's look at these people and see everybody that we need to, for a little while now. We're at obfuscation, okay, but we need to look at it and say, okay, so who do we need to rid ourselves of? Yeah. And I'm not going to use any words that are not sufficient that they might tell me on Instagram that, look, you said this.
Right.
Who do we need to rid ourselves of? Because there's people that are riddable. Riddable is a word, right?
Well, it is today.
Okay, riddable is a word. There's people that are riddable. We need to just locate their names, locate the states that they're, what attorney general they're serving under, what Senate they're doing, because there's people out here that's don't have our best interest at heart.
At all.
Really don't.
At all.
But they say, yep, very strange phrase. built to disguise the fact of what it is, or maybe make it blend in, which is an inevitable result of forced poverty that's built into the system of capitalism over everything. No, I agree. See, the problem that we don't see, we don't see how they looked at us as a non-problem until they start suffering from the same things we were suffering from.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're trying to find a solution.
Miss Betty said, and that's why she did her homework the last time we said it.
Yeah, oh yeah, we own it, Miss Betty. That homework is going to come in handy because we are working toward getting our homework done, getting directions, getting things that we need to do. Readable ain't no goddamn word. Hello, until about 30 seconds ago. It is now. I'm gonna go wake up Dead Webster. Yeah, and say, Dead Webster, you need to get on up and add this one word to the dictionary. And you go back to sleep.
They change the shit every year anyway. They change names, and the word devil had 2 to 3 different meanings.
Yeah, until devil start dating 2020, like they said on. What is that? What is that app? What is that dating app?
Which one? They got so many.
No, dating app where they had the devil in 2020 hanging out and going in the bathroom stealing all the toilet paper. And when I first saw that, I'm like, that is clever.
Yeah.
That is clever and that is true. But for somebody to spend that much money to let you know that they hated 2020's guts like we did.
Just like we did. It's something to see. And I want to say this while we're on here too. Everybody was on here. Be mindful of the stuff that you post about what's happening now, because they're gonna start trying to hold a lot of people accountable for shit. And just don't be one of those folks. So be careful. Be careful what you post and how you repost things. It's amazing to see. So when you have your idea set of what you're gonna do, I don't care what position you is, and then the people that been gun-ho going for you the whole time start turning on you, that is a bad feeling, bro.
Hey, I know.
I know.
You know what it's called? It's called divorce.
That's what it's called. Listen, everybody ran away.
A whole lot of riddable. Now look, they say walk into the room and looks around. It's a whole lot of riddable motherfuckers in here. No, I agree. No, but what was saying, John?
It's a lot of his folks ran away from him, and when that happens, you got to completely reconfigure what you've been doing, because there's no come back after that. Once your wife done turned on you, she the one that's supposed to be there the whole time, right? Once your main squeeze decide, oh, this nigga got to go, you in trouble, man.
No, but not just that. Then you start saying, okay, so all the friends that I brought into it and all the friends that she brought into it, are we going, like a deck of cards, divvy them up and I'm going to keep mine and you're going to keep yours? Or who's, you got to figure out what friends think whatever person in this relationship was wrong. That's why the people going to go to the people they thought was right. We ain't friends no more. Like you got my friends over there with you. What? But it's amazing how we see all these things now and we're listening and we hear, like nobody talked about the 1776 project that they dumped right before he left. Because Trump administration, they was mad at the 1619 project. So he wanted all these people to come together. They paid millions of dollars for these people to come together to create this 1776 project. And 1776 project is just saying that slavery ain't that bad. Other people had slavery too, and they just trying to dispel everything in 1619 project. But it's sad when you will fight for your life for some statues that was built 60 years after Reconstruction ended. See, they had to end Reconstruction on the deal in 1877, that little agreement that they made. And then when they ended Reconstruction, they said, we're going to make sure that our Confederates are remembered. We're going to build all these statues 10 feet tall and on giant pedestals. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, how people say, I write a love poem, say, yeah, I put my woman on a pedestal. I'm like, that's kidnapping, ain't
it? It sounds pretty damn close.
Yeah, I'm saying, you put your woman on a pedestal, that's kidnapping, because She can't get down by herself, can she?
She's stuck. She's stuck.
No, man, but it's amazing, Coach Job, man. I love you, man. I've been looking forward to this. But the thing was, there's so much to talk about, and I'm like, I started writing stuff down, but I was editing these poems and doing this other stuff. I'm like, man, it ain't even enough paper to write all this stuff down.
I'm telling you what I did today. Something I ain't doing in a long time. So on my computer, I have all of these notes, and I realized how many poems I got here that ain't even finished. It's just poems that's just sitting in here, and I'm like, damn, I don't even remember writing these poems, and I'm just because I was looking for. I like to look at how I was writing at a specific time, and then look how it had grew into the time that I'm writing now, and then realizing that, and this is the magic of words and writing. I can still perform those poems, and in the poems that are unfinished, you won't even know I didn't finish the damn poem.
But see, that's what I've been doing. I'll tell you, I got all these. I got a box of folders over there of poems I haven't even reread since I wrote them, and it's probably about 20 folders in there.
Wow!
But I was trying to find the new poems I was writing for this book, Still Black. Mm-hmm. So I found these poems, and I just found one that was unfinished. What was the title of the poem? Oh, Promises. Promises unfinished. I finished that because when I find a poem that I was writing at a different time in my life, I'm like, I don't really think this new me can edit that old me and divorce that old me without adding this new me to it.
And that's it.
So I try to look at what was that old me saying? Did they make it clear? Is there a way I can round off what he's saying and end it right there? Because I don't want to add this new me to that old me. Then it's not going to sound. It's going to sound like time didn't stop. It's going to sound like I invaded his privacy and started writing. Stole his pen and started writing with it.
But also, was that old me trying to keep me prepared? Was it already preparing? Was this something that old me left for me to do now? Kind of like,
here's the question.
Yeah, little nigga, this is what I got for you. Take it the rest of the way.
Now here's the question. It says, what did y'all think about the girl's poem speech, Amanda Gorman? That was something else. Powerful don't even seem like a strong enough word for it. Let me tell you what I thought about it. See, there was a line in the poem. There was a line in the poem where she said that this little girl, this skinny little girl, the daughter of immigrants, that wished to be president can only read a poem for one. That shit was dope to me. Because see, there's this, we don't see how we grow pieces from the parts of us that nobody else knows are parts of us. And I think the poem was excellent because she didn't say dark or black. She used shade. And she used shade in reference because shade doesn't have a color, doesn't stick in your mind, doesn't scratch you like prejudice, like yesterday, like Confederate flags. See, shade don't do none of that. Shade just lets you sit there thinking it's okay.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about how beautiful that moment was for me. I watched Maya Angelou when her documentary she had on Netflix, right? And I thought about when she because she was there for Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I watched a young lady said, Maya, such and such and such. She was in the crowd. I think it was an Oprah Winfrey show. And the young lady in the crowd said, Maya, so and so and so and so. And she asked the question, and Maya Angelou said, first of all, it's Miss Maya Angelou. That's first. And she said, thank you for asking such an amazing question. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought about the presence of that little black young woman there and the conversations I'm going to have with my soon-to-be 20-year-old daughter and my new baby that'll be here in just a few days. We don't know. And I thought about how I could reference that position to a young black child of mine. Oh, I hadn't even went back and listened to that poem because there's so much. I know I'm going to cry when I go read that poem again. And it had nothing to do with what she said. Just that presence of having that beautiful young black girl, that young black woman up there. It was perfect. When she flipped up on the words, she went through it perfectly. You heard when she slipped up just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Just went through a
And
perfect.
then she started looking at, and see, what I was thinking is she had notes in different colors. She said, okay, this one I'm not really familiar with. So she said, okay, purple. And she went down and corrected it. Okay, orange, went down and corrected it. I don't know what the paper looked like, but I know that's what I would have done. And she did it flawlessly, even though we thought we heard a flaw. But see, I was stuck. I was stuck before her on the sign language. On the sign language that was given by the black chief. See, I don't think anybody noticed that America started sounding differently when they celebrated the loss of 400,000 people the night before.
Yeah, yeah.
See, because we didn't hear nobody. We didn't hear nobody saying, "Hey, you know, we lost life." Because I got 3 people close to me that COVID took. I ain't heard nobody say, "I'm sorry." You know, I ain't heard nobody say, "Hey, you know, I know what it feels like." But when he said, "I know what it feels like to have an empty chair in your house that for breakfast," you know, and see, we talk about how do you mourning. So when he say for breakfast, I'm thinking about morning and how we mourning, and when you wake up and you know it's missing in the beginning of your day, you can't feel the rest of your day with missing. Yeah. What's up, Kareem? Good to see you, man. I'm talking to Coach Ja, man. Coach Ja right now on 10 Times Now, and we're gonna definitely have a show where other people come in. But right now, we're trying to get politicians, people to come in, because what we're trying to do is to make sure everybody knows that in 2021, in November 2021, there's elections somewhere. There's some people that need to register right now to vote for right now.
Yeah.
So we ain't stopping right now because we got a black vice president, female, that was in the Senate laughing. See, I enjoyed that because when she said, "I got a replacement for me in here, and I'm the one replacing me." So we don't know what that feels like when you got this first, and you got the first senator from good old Dixie, first senator from Lynchville, first senator from these places. You know, you got all these firsts that we're still making in 2021. And if we don't understand that, we need to fill all these firsts up next year. Can't be no more first. It got to be seconds. Next year ought to be seconds. So we gotta figure out what we need to do. They say I cried reading a few of the lines on some Instagram posts, and I knew it was like I can't even deal with taking the power of this entire work, let alone a few lines like he said, like you were saying, John, that you hadn't read it yet.
Yeah, because I need time. I need time to just get into that. But here's let me add to what you were just saying a minute ago. Here's the dynamics of this moment, right? When we had Braxton on here, Braxton was talking about he's running again. Everybody that's on this feed, you know, if you sent 25 cents a week, somebody could buy a stamp to go mail the shit out. One of these, we got to find out. Here's your homework. Here's your homework. Okay, here's the homework. Find out who your local people that are running for office. Don't worry about the presidency. Don't worry about that shit right now because you don't know who to vote for. Ain't nobody start talking about they running yet. Don't worry about it. You know that's coming. You know that's coming. Find out who's running for councilman. Find out who your mayor is, who's running up against your mayor, your governor. It is my understanding that we need governors. Our governors. And okay, look, Mystical said our governor needs to go next year in Georgia. The governor is who you need, from my understanding now that I've been paying attention. That's your go-to. When you want the president to sign some shit, you got to go through your governor. So you governor that's on your side, brainwise, throw the black agenda out the window. There's no such thing as a black agenda in politics. Throw that shit out the window. Stop thinking about that. You got to think about having a black agenda to put in front of people who are in place. That's what you're losing with. Talking about somebody coming with a black agenda, your black ass need to find out your own agenda. They don't have time. They're trying to get the office. They don't have time. And so we need to figure out who are the locals. Find out what an alderman is, right? All these places, because some of these positions are uncontested. You got people on the ballot that don't have nobody running against them. You should be running against them if ain't nobody else doing it, just because. Put your name on the ballot. Put your name on the damn ballot.
But that was our first conversation. Our first conversation was, I'm looking at the ballot and they got all these uncontested positions. And I knew it before, but when I was in Fort Worth, right? So in Fort Worth, the first female district attorney of the city of Fort Worth, when I was there, asked me to come and speak at her inauguration breakfast. So I'm a black guy going to this Republicans breakfast. I parked on the third floor of a building that I passed and didn't know they had a third floor with security. Where you can't walk in. So I'm getting out of the car with my little bag and my little product and, got my suit and tie on. And he said, I think you're in the wrong place. And I'm like, just by you saying that, I must be in the right place. So you thinking I'm in the wrong place? I must be in the right place. And I went in, and it was amazing because my speech was about women in law. How hard it was for women to be accepted as lawyers, because the first couple of lawyers were they set them out by the secretary. The woman set out by the secretary. So if they had any women cases, they were giving them. Otherwise, you didn't talk to nobody. You just a lawyer. You just got a law degree with nothing to law for.
Right.
And I told them about that. And then I read some. I was just working on the Black Book of Black, and I read some of the poems in Black Book of Black when I opened up. They pulled out their cameras and they videotape, and I'm like, I don't know what they was gonna do with it, but I was impressed that they wanted to remember what I said. See, a lot of times we want to know what somebody wants to do with what we've written. A lot of times it's just amazing enough that they're paying attention. Write something so people will pay attention to what you say. Write it to where they can't mistake mistake this limb on this branch. They go out there and they start looking to see if there's little remnants of ropes left. If there's some skin on the bark of the tree, they're gonna be checking for now because you left some Instagram thoughts in their head that they can't get rid of.
I'm gonna tell you something, AJ. I'm gonna tell you a statement that I made that I regret saying. And this is because I said it out of fun, right? I said if they would never ask me to write a poem for presidential inauguration, because they would think I probably started them. But you know what? I regret even saying that, because I'm the type of poet that they should. Because I'm not gonna say the shit you think I would have said. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna offend nobody, because that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
But I want to say the shit that's gonna make you think. I want to take you someplace, and like I always say, just drop you right there. And you find your way back, because that's what you did to me in my con for a long time. I'm going to take you there, drop you off. Then you come wade in the water. Because I've been wading this shit long enough. I'm pruning at the toenails now. You see what I'm saying? And we got to think that when we're writing, it's okay to write write whatever you want to write. I'm not saying that, but when I anywhere I do a performance, if I'm performing, even if I'm hosting only, I'm dropping a seed somewhere. I'm planting a seed. And that's why I think people follow me. I love when I perform and people say, "Hey man, what church you go to?" I say, I've gone to church a couple of times, but I don't belong to a church. Oh man, but the way you said this and that, and I love doing that because it creates the conversation. Because I took you somewhere in that conversation, somewhere where I was hosting or somewhere in the poem. I love when people come after and say, "Man, you said this one line and I can't get it out of my head." I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Now you go plan it.
John, I'm trying to make Still Black, the book Still Black. I'm trying to make it like there's an underbelly to the book Still Black, like a ship I want you to ride in. Yeah. I want you to get stuck in the underbelly of this ship and you can't get out till you finish. Like I didn't know I was going here. I didn't know it was that dark under here. I didn't know it was this pitch black. But now that we're underneath this skin in this melanin.
But now that we're here.
Yeah. It's, sit in that rocking chair, get comfortable because it's gonna be a minute.
And we're gonna rock, baby. We're gonna rock. Steady.
No, but like you were saying, locals running for office, that is definitely what we're talking about. But see, the thing is once you start voting and once you understand that every election matters, once you start seeing how controlling the city councilman and the school board and all those positions in your community matter, then you say, okay, we need to make sure this mayor and this governor is on point. So now that we got the governor, now we need to make sure these senators and these representatives are on point. So, and see, people don't understand. Look at how, 2 years ago, when in 3 years ago in 2018, when all these new representatives were voted in the House, when the House took over the House. And you say all these people voted for the House, but nobody said nothing about the Senate. So how can all these people vote on the same ballot that the Senate is on and the Senate not be overtaken too? See, that's the question you need to ask yourself. How do they gerrymander these districts to where this majority vote that changed the House won't do nothing for the Senate?
Nothing.
See, there's a way they figured it out. So until you actually understand that all these states, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, all these places have gerrymandered these districts to where these senators not worried about their position in South Carolina and in Iowa and the Dakotas. They're not worried about their position.
No,
because they got it to where you can have mass voting by Democrats, but they won't even touch the Republicans in the Senate area.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been laws to make them get an individual entity to come and redraw those districts.
Yes.
But they was trying to hold it out. They was trying to hold out after 2020 because if we can hold on for 6 more years.
6 more years. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, we can hold on for 6 more years. So that's what that insurrection was about. If we can hold on one time, we can gerrymander these districts, we can make these laws, we can fill these courts with these people that's not even qualified.
I don't think understanding that this fight now is harder than Barack's fight.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember when Barack came into office, he had a lot of big business entities backing him. He also had a heavy LBGT community backing him. He had a lot of entities backing him in his position. And so he had a lot of people fighting. Now he had it rough because they was trying to fight him, but there's too much power in certain places, except coming from our side as always. We always the motherfuckers that don't do nothing. And y'all got to excuse me for cussing, but I get a little aggravated with y'all now. Y'all get on my damn nerves. But he had a lot of entities that were in place already. It's not the same for Biden and Kamala. It's not the same.
But see, to me, the biggest difference is, see, all these insurrectionists were undercover.
Mm-hmm.
When Barack was president, they were saying things, they were building, they were saying, okay, we're gonna make this a one-term president. Mm-hmm. See, we don't understand that the insurrectionists didn't start at this point. They started in the birther movement.
That's right.
It started when they was talking about the Central Park Five.
Mm-hmm.
It started when they was talking about all these other things. So when they build these lies up and they find out these children were innocent, but this man they voted for president still wanted them executed, paid for all these newspapers and magazines, say you ought to be put to death anyway. See, we don't see how we let things pass us by not addressing it. Now it's this monster in the closet that turned into a house that we live in.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that monster in the closet turned into a house. And we just got rid of him and don't even know if he's gone yet.
We don't even know if he's gone yet. Well, he still got implants. You see, yeah. Look, you seen Biden got rid of the guy who running the catering shit in there. He's all that's his book. His ass out of here. I don't need no snitches.
Well, see, because the black guy that was in the White House when Barack was there had been there for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was there the first 2 years of Trump, and Trump just got rid of him.
Just got rid of him.
And it was like all these people that's in these positions that serve, Republicans and Democrats alike. They didn't have no favorites. It's like, this is my job. I do my job. That's what the Supreme Court is supposed to be. That's what CIA and FBI and all these things supposed to be. Nonpartisan entities.
Right. Right.
See, he was always saying, hey, I need to know if you got my back. Let me see. Kogeman said, so much truth and meaning and depth, like it was a whole big pile of truth piled up on the top of the grave full of truths that have been buried with more unseen truth raining down from the sky, creating a. Now I agree, but see, we don't understand how lies built this thing. Lies built this thing, and we still got like a Frawley, whatever his name is. It came out with his fist raised up, like on the day the insurrection happened. He came out, raised his fist up, like
he's still in position.
Ready. No, like we ready.
Yeah, he's still in position.
Like, yeah, I know, like ready.
Yeah,
let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And Trump did the same thing the other day when he came out and had his little fist up. See, we don't see how these lies matter. And I was listening to Fox News today. I was trying to see what they were saying because now all these 500 and something printers, book printers, cancel all these deals with all these people that were Trump people. All these corporations and Forbes put out a note saying that anybody that hired anybody that was with Trump on these insurrectionists, evidently you don't want your company to make it.
Wow.
So Fox News was saying that these people are killing the freedom of speech. No, they're saying that you can't lie no more. You got to tell the truth. So a lot of times when you look at somebody else's opinion, it's that we want to tell lies about you, and they're stopping us. When all these people was banned from, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Twitch, and can't even have a GoFundMe account. Trump's can't even have no GoFundMe account. But the thing is they did it because they say you're not going to raise money on the lies that you're telling that's subverting the American progress.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I need to look at that. But what I was going to ask you, did you see the movie The Butler?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I watched The Butler several times over. I'm a bubble bath man, right? So I take bubble baths all the time, and I put my laptop in there and I put my Netflix on. I watch movies that make me think. I watched The Butler, and by the third time I watched it, I fell so in love with everything that movie was telling me. It showed you how dirty that damn Ronald Reagan was and how he tried to pretend. That was a dirty mother, boy, I'm telling you. But what it made me realize, Forrest Whitaker is an amazing actor. Let me just say that. If you haven't seen The Butler, go look at The Butler, but look at it several times. Forrest Whitaker, in that position, lost his son, right? And what I missed initially, it wasn't the disrespect of what was happening. It was so much miscommunication because he knew how he had to keep his pride tucked down in his socks when he went to work. But his son didn't know that. But his son knew that he didn't know that the depths of it and how it affected his father. They never had that conversation. But the fact that his father did it for so long, his son was like, damn, Dad, you don't got no testicular fortitude. You can't
no backbone. Yeah.
But when it go back to it, and he told him, look here, the last time he said, I'm not coming to ask you for it. I'm letting you know if you don't give me the proper pay, I'm leaving. And he looked at him like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, no, I'm leaving. And then he gained his son back when he took white American privilege off of his back, out of his ear, from out of his back pocket, from his signing his check. When he got rid of that entity, he got his son back and then went out protesting with his son. It was the time. It was the moment of the movie where if you had some tears, they were coming at that point. But looking at the images that because I'm an image guy, it hit me like snapshots, boom, boom, and I'm looking at it in each bracket. I'm like, man. And then when Oprah said, "Get this dirty bitch out of my house," remember? Man, but what I'm saying is, I fell in love with that movie because it told so many different stories. It told so many different stories, just like the movie of Cuba Gooding was in, and he was the amputee that was trying to be the master sergeant in the Marine. Yeah. Another beautiful movie, because you see how people take what we actually lived through, and how they made these things because of people like that. That's why gerrymandering and all that shit came about, redlining and all. That's why that came about, because of people like that. They said, look, I'm going to take all your shit and then I'm going to show you what you can do with it.
No, but see, what I got from The Butler was that it was like, we have to carry the load sometimes that we're not willing to bear.
That's right.
Because I'm saying, your children you can't have a grown folks conversation with somebody that ain't grown yet. They wouldn't see the truth in it. And it's Microsoft calling me, man. I need to tell these people they got let me tell them.
All right, go ahead. So yeah, I'm on
yes.
AJ. We on
Hi, I'm speaking with you.
YouTube,
yeah.
And everything, and
calling from Microsoft. Is the right time to speak with you?
No, it isn't. Could you call me back tomorrow about noon? I would appreciate it. Because right now I'm in a meeting.
I don't want to get it, but we're talking about all the presidential stuff, the inauguration that went on, all those things that happened, and
thank you.
There is so much Listen, if you're not black in here, I don't want you to take offense to what I'm saying, but if you're black in here and you're on this feed, you need to understand your importance. You are so valid. Like this entire world actually revolves around you. You just hadn't accepted that yet. You haven't accepted that. The entire government was at a standstill. And I'm not just talking about the senators, I'm talking about the entire government. The country was at a standstill waiting for black votes to come in. So all of y'all that said, oh, vote don't count, think about that. The entire, everybody was at a standstill.
Yeah, I'm in a meeting. Could you call me back tomorrow at noon? I'm in a meeting.
Votes to come in.
Yeah, no issues with that. We'll give you a call back tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
And so when you say your vote don't count, I'm gonna ask you a favor, like AJ said. Don't vote because you want to vote. Vote because I'm asking you to. If you are a friend of ours, right, and you cool with us, I don't care if you don't want to vote. That's fine. Don't vote because you don't, that's how you feel. That's fine. We're asking you to do it for us. I'm asking you to vote for my grandchildren and their children. Vote for them. The vote that you make now or the vote that you miss now affects them. Because you don't think it affects you. That's fine. That's okay. It ain't gotta, don't worry about it. When all the good shit happen, you can act like it ain't happening for you. Vote for them. Vote for your children's children. You know what I'm saying? Those are the votes that I want. That's why I want you to cast the vote. And so we ask you to ask your local people. I don't care what position they are. If they're running and they need a vote, ask them to come on here and talk with us. And then they can look, they don't have to pay for a campaign. They can tell the whole community they're gonna be on this show and they can run their fucking campaign right here. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care what side you run on.
But John,
Republican or Democrat, come here so we can have the discussion.
A lot of people understand that that's how the president made ran for office. He would always say things that were so outlandish that they have him on these shows and all these other shows. So you saw his face more than you saw anybody else's face. So it wasn't that he said anything good or people hated that he said something bad. It was just that they saw him so much they were like, oh, okay, so I did hear something he said, or I heard one thing he said. But a lot of times we don't understand that we are in charge of a whole lot of stuff we don't know we're in charge of.
Say that. Say that. Say that.
Because I really think that as writers, it has become our duty now to tell the truth, since we had 4 years of lies. 4 years of lies. And now it's our duty to tell the truth. So if we tell the truth would form an echo. So somebody else would get that truth, because in Still Black, I wrote this thing. It says, I just want you to understand that every piece of history that you thought you knew, I want you to go back and read it again. Because we don't know the whole truth sometimes. We just know that Tuskegee was bad. We just know that Harriet ran the Underground Railroad. What was it a train? No, it wasn't a train. It was no tracks. No, it wasn't no tracks. It wasn't no road map to follow.
Wasn't no damn hitchhiking going on.
yeah. So I'm saying let's discover what the truth is of history, because a lot of people, I had this conversation yesterday again. They're talking about, swab their cheeks. That like I got some Irish in me, I got this in me, and I want to go discover my family. And I'm like, I don't want to go meet the rapists of my family. That's not your family. Those are rapists.
Yeah.
That's how you got Irish in you. That's how you got French in you. That's how you got Portuguese in you. You didn't get that because they were family and y'all just, they were married, or this is my mother's ex-husband. No, that was your mother's owner, the great grandmother's owner. So we are sitting here wanting to meet the rapists of our bloodline, as if that's gonna make us family
or free.
Oh,
definitely. If it's gonna make you free, then okay, I understand why now. Did you see the show earlier today?
No, I didn't, man. I was up all night trying to get this rewriting old poems, trying to leave me out of them and shit.
Slangston Hughes though.
Yeah,
he was on this morning.
And I meant to be there, but I'm saying I was up to like 4 this morning writing.
Well, you damn sure wasn't gonna make the show. But what I'm saying, right? When I asked him his top 5 people that he want to meet, I wish he was on there because he said most influential was Harriet Tubman. I wanted so much for you to be on. I said, damn it, AJ must not be on here because he ain't said nothing. Harriet Tubman. Mm-hmm. I thought about that, man. I was like, damn, I can't wait. I meant to call you, but I had so much other stuff going on. But
if you'd have called me, I sure would have answered because man, no, but that is dope. And I think a lot of people don't understand, that's why I say, instead of Jordans, I'd rub me some Tubmans.
Yeah, I'd take some too.
And I'm saying, I think they'd last longer than me jumping on the basketball court.
Hey, if they can take me 800 miles here and there, I'm good to go. If they can take me the first 800.
For real.
But Jordan ain't taking me 800. Shit.
Now, Jordan, you're going to make a bad cut and be like, what's my boy that play with now, New Orleans?
Oh,
had them Nikes on when he made a cut in college before he went out, and the bottom of the shoe came off and messed his ankle up.
Oh, I forgot what that was. Yeah, y'all remember that now. I remember that now.
Yeah, and I was like, they said, man, we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay you. Please wear our shoes. We're sorry. Como Chameleon said, there's always a lot of covering up going on, even when we do get to find out some of those uncomfortable truths that were never meant to be uncovered in the first place. Now, but that's really what it is. We got to understand that until Wikipedia and all these people came along, you could ask, even when you ask Google something, it's gonna say, don't look at the answer you're looking at. Look at what number that answer is. It'll say answer 1 of 101,000 answers, or answer 1 of 1 million and some answers. So you got to figure out. You can find some truth, but it might not be the truth you're looking for, and it might not be the truth. That's some truth that came from the million times they asked that question. Or they're gonna let you know everything, but see what's happening right now is they're going through trying to discern how many lies they're gonna let sit next to the truth.
And
because,
and lies are going to speak for the truth.
Yeah, because when this administration ended, they nobody knew the effect of lies. So I want people to understand that we are in the position we're in. If this country could be in that position after 4 years of lies, what position would you be in after 400 years of lies?
Come on, AJ. Come on, AJ.
We're not building this parallel. See, after 4 years of lies, these people ransacked the Capitol with Confederate flags running around talking about an insurrection. Where's Nancy Pelosi? We're going to hang Mike Pence. We're going to do this. They want to do this. But that's just 4 years of lies. So what position would America be in after 400 years of lies? So that tells us where we are. This 400 years of lies we're trying to overcome. How much pain can a black man carry on his back? How many centuries of falsehoods can a black man carry in his head?
That we can't shake off.
Yeah, because even if we tell somebody, they won't believe us. Because when we start, I just finished. I edited upon this book, and the last part was talking about how we're trying to overcome all these things, but we're the ones that are echoing the lies that we were taught because that's what we were taught. Yeah. When we're the main ones telling lies, we can't blame other people for telling the same lies we're telling because that's what we heard. Because I know Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. I know that. I know that because they told me in school. 1492, Christopher Columbus arrived in the islands and in America. His ship split, and half the crew landed in America, half the crew landed in the islands. So I know this because that's what America told me.
That's what America told you.
I know the Pilgrims, when they landed on Plymouth Rock, it's not like they had somewhere else to go. It's not like this was the last ditch escape. And it's not like it was the good people that they sent over. These were escapees. These were the people they were ridding themselves of. Riddable? These were riddable people that they sent over here that started this country. These are not good people of notable quality. These were not, noble characters.
Right.
These were the bad people they were trying to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to watch. roots over and over as a reminder. That's why I watch those shows. And I like to watch the newer one because I like what they did, because the newer one make you remember that they make you remember what Africa was, and not just people running trying to escape nets on the beach. It reminded me of what Africa was. It reminded me of where the hell we came from. And then one of my favorite, well, I can't say my favorite parts, but one part that resonated with just what you said a minute ago, we're talking about finding your Irish people and all this stuff. There was a part when Kizzy had got sold from her mother and father because she knew how to read, and they lied. She was supposed to learn how to read, and she was stuck in this place. And the damn owner who came in there drunk, kicked the barn door open, and he's raping her, screaming out loud, "This is my right. This is my right." And his wife is standing outside the barn house, turns around and walks away, and he's raping the woman, saying that this is my right. And that's where you get that bloodline that don't match your complexion from. And it's something that we need to not forget, man. Like we act like that shit didn't happen. Okay, well, that was back then. It don't matter now. It matters every bit of now.
But let me tell you, the reason it matters more is because I was watching, my girl, she loves the reality shows. And I think it's Southern Charm or one of them that was on. And this one lady, her lineage was the one on this big old giant statue at the very top of this little thing that they put about 50 feet high. And they wanted to pull it down. So they started pulling it down. And it was like, he was vice president twice, Calhoun. He's vice president twice. So he died fighting for slavery to still be in the South. So they got rid of the statue. But it took them all this time to get rid of the statue. But the thing is they started talking about, money. Where did the money come from? I'm like, if he died wanting slavery to still be in full effect, why do you have to ask where the money came from? And in the poem Home, it talks about how many granules of foreign sand makes up our feet. And what I'm saying is we squab our cheeks and we say, okay, I want to know where I came from. So you want to go to all these places, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go meet people that raped my ancestors. I don't want to go meet Lincoln's family and say, oh, this is a barn where Lincoln raped my great grandmother, and I'm supposed to be okay with it.
I want to run something by you, AJ, because this fucking aggravates the hell out of me. And I get it, but I don't get it. All of these fucking presidents that feel like they have black people on their backs have to say, oh yeah, man, Lincoln, I thank Lincoln. And I'm saying to myself, do y'all forget he only did that shit because he had to? Because he didn't want it, because he couldn't keep everybody together? The man said, I would keep slavery if I can keep this union together. Are y'all fucking missing that? This shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Being so-called the Amalgamation Department, that have shit to do with you, besides the fact they want to devalue you more. They want to take the money off of your back and then start taking it out your pocket. That's the only fucking difference. They missed that. Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. But see, the other part of that is that Lincoln said, I'm going to free your slaves.
Your slaves. Think about that.
Yeah, I'm just going to free your slaves. I'm keeping my 600 plus.
That's out here working right now while I'm talking to you and sending this fucking telegram. We're going to keep them. But I'm going to free your days.
And you know that poem I wrote about the march they had on the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, so they saying, okay, I'm going to keep this. And it's like, you don't see how this affects them, that they want to come in and we're going to tear this place down because you blacks want to vote like us. Blacks want to hold office like us. Y'all think y'all can run things like us. We still think y'all subservient. We still think y'all got them extra ligaments so y'all can be track stars. But we still think, because if you remember back in the day, they had scientists they paid to say that the mind of a black man was smaller. So the Tuskegee Airmen couldn't fly planes because they couldn't retain the information of flight, the flight pattern. Right. So all these things was done on purpose, that they wanted us to know that we can't do it. Y'all can do it. I did a study. I done bisected enough people. I understand your brain is small. You can't remember. You don't have the capacity to do this. So we're not even gonna let you do this. We're gonna keep you down here. We're being down here changing the oil, doing the things on the plane because you got good fingers.
Yeah. Oh, you good?
Yeah, your brain just ain't good enough to do nothing. And it's a shame how even now I talk to some of us that sound like our brains are the size they said it was.
Some of us still walk around our brains on ice. That's the only thing I think. It takes so fucking long to defrost. It's too late to think about the idea. That's the only answer I got. The blood ain't flowing. You can have a crackhead sit in front of you and break down the deepest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah.
And here you are, sober as a damn dog, and you can't fucking tell me green from blue. Think about that.
What's up, Mixed Rose? Mixed Rose, definite, man. You so fire, Mixed Rose, man. I want you to know that I'm so impressed with your pen and the way you write. Danny boy, what up? Kokomo, he said, damn, this is news to me about Uncle Lincoln. But I still gotta appreciate the Emancipation Proclamation. But see, I understand. But see, the thing is, what we really have to understand is that a lot of businesses would donate to Trump's campaign and Obama's campaign. So tell me how that sit in your craw. That they say we gonna be on the winning side, regardless of which side is winning.
I want to address that Lincoln situation, right? The Emancipation Proclamation, I'm not saying this isn't a good thing, but I'm gonna give you a scenario. If you're working for a man and you get hurt on that job, whatever it is, I don't give a damn if he shoot you in your damn hip and blow your kneecap off. Now you get disability. So I can't work you like a slave, but you're okay to go now. I got you another way to make you a little bit of money. It's the same scenario because that freedom handicapped you because you're living off of something that still doesn't even apply to you. It doesn't make you no more than than you are.
It's not adequate payment. It's not adequate payment for your service.
It's not. It's just a matter of me tricking this guy because I need to get what he has. It's chess. It's chess. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice these pawns because I'm coming to get your queen. I'm gonna knock your queen off first because she's a bad man pajama, but I'm coming to get your king. So I'm gonna sacrifice.
But y'all, even in that instance, it's like it's chess. But we're not abiding by the rules. We're just gonna take your queen first. Before you move, we're gonna take your queen. It's like, okay, now your move.
Now your move. Queen
like,
gone.
Yeah, like how you do that?
She gone. I done polluted her. She gone. Queen pregnant. Go sit your ass down. and no, that ain't your secret there.
No, but check it out. One thing I want you to look at because I want to write about the gate of no return. That's.
Go ahead.
Now, what were you saying?
Because in the series, in the masterclass that I want that we're going to do, we're going to talk all about that. Because I want to focus on the middle passage. I want to focus on the gate of no return. And think about, I want all of y'all in here. Don't do it now, right? Because you're going to miss the shit now. You're going to fuck it up now. Don't do it now. Later on, when you take your shower, think about you being captured. Matter of fact, don't be thinking about you being captured. Think about your grandmother or your grandchild, your baby being captured, taken to a place that they call the gate of no return. Meaning once you go through that gate, that's it. That's it. You don't know nothing else. You don't know your name. You don't know how to pee straight. You don't know what you're supposed to eat. You don't know how to pray to God no more. Everything is new after that. Being a human being disappears after that step. After that, once you're there, you've already heard the stories. Think about that for a minute.
Man, that is horrifying. And the idea, if you see a picture of what it looks like, just this little opening, like you're going through this thing that you probably couldn't get back through if you wanted to turn around and come back. Como said, yeah, they made sure the 40 acres part didn't get carried out after they killed him. And I keep telling people, a lot of people don't understand. They like Spike Lee say 40 acres and a mule, and in the tank, whatever his company name is. And see, that wasn't the whole story. See, the story was 40 acres of mule and $100 because they knew that you could not start anything. You couldn't maintain a family or focus if you had land, a horse, and couldn't buy no feed or couldn't buy no seeds or couldn't feed that mule that you needed to plow this land up. So it's 40 acres of mule and $100. And they gave it to a lot of people before, but after Lincoln was assassinated, they didn't have phones, so the general didn't know he couldn't keep giving it out. So when he went back to Washington, he found out they wanted him to take it back because Lincoln was dead. Go back and get their property back. And see, that's what they tried to do with Fort Negro. Fort Negro was a fort in Florida where the French had this fort. So when the French left after the war, gave it to the Indians. Indians invited all the blacks to free slaves and the ones that was stealing away or ones that could make it to live with that. But it was a depot, ammo depot. So when when they was coming back to take these 40 acres, this move back, they ran up on the fort and didn't understand that the fort had more weapons than they did. And it just wasn't gonna work for them. So the president started lying like the one that just left, saying that these people were out stealing slaves and doing this to make everybody kind of angry, wanted everybody to be angry at these people on the fort, at these indigenous people and these black people, some of them freed already on this fort. So he sent these ships surrounding it, started bombing with cannons and fire, and the fort blew up. There were pieces and parts of people hanging from trees and all those other things. So nobody talks about it, but Fort Negro is this horrible event that the president created out of lies, like this president created out of lies. So all these things we're seeing is a repetition of something that already happened before. So if we keep letting things happen and we don't come together and say we can vote at 100%, that we can sit down and we can change this state. We can change everything one state at a time if we need to, but we need to know, how do you register to vote? What is your process in your state? When is the last day that you can register to vote in your state? How close is it that you have to register to vote before the election? Are you waiting until the last day to register? So there's a lot of things we need to ask ourselves, and we need to tell our friends, and we need to let our friends know, like, look, we can't be friends in 2022 unless you vote. Then we can try and be friends again in 2024. Right, or for that election, and then if you don't vote, we can't be friends until 2026. So we're gonna be on this biannual friendship thing.
AJ, I need to go back, man. Talking about the gates of no return.
Yeah, but I left that because, man, I want to sit down and talk. I want to see what you're gonna do with it. I want to see what you're gonna do in your master class and in your workshop.
I listened to a lecture. And I want to say, I think it was Farrakhan talking in this lecture, how they went to go visit some of the places where they had bombed. It was two places. One place is where the slaves were in, and one place was where they had bombed in Iraq. I think it was in Iraq, and how they had the woman's skeleton embedded in the wall. And the skeleton in concrete with the fetus still in the womb. Think about that shit. How they left the slaves that they couldn't do nothing with or they'll die. They just left them there, and now their skulls is embedded in the dirt in the caves and all this shit. And you got women with a fetus in there, the bones of a baby skeleton in her damn womb. First of all, if the baby has a skeleton at that point, the baby is months old now. This ain't no embryo. But you think about the kind of shit that these devils will do, man. And you got to understand that these are their children. They ain't no goddamn planted in trees and these are their goddamn grandchildren.
I think it was the Bahamas. I think it was Bahamas. Went on a cruise. My sons and everybody went on a cruise, whole family, and we went to Bahamas. And there's a cave to where they used to drop the slaves off. And that was where they stayed until they were finna take them out to be sold, wherever they were going to transport them again. So I'm going to this cave because I'm like, I want to see what it looks like. And about 15, 20 feet in this cave, I'm looking first, you know how you focus on forward. I'm focused forward, I'm looking around, I'm like, yeah, we're just talking. And then when I stop, and I'm looking, and all the line that I passed, there were the little stakes like they had in Jesus' hands and feet. There were stakes with chains hanging off of it up high for the grown folk.
Yeah.
There were stakes about 8 inches from the ground with little bitty chains on them. Man, and I'm saying, I broke down, man. I could not move. It was like it hit me like an anvil. I'm like, I'm saying I couldn't. I was trying to get out of there. I couldn't move. I was stuck. I was stuck because I could feel the presence of, and maybe that's why I write like I do. Yeah. I could feel the presence of my ancestors. You know, my girl told me last night, she said, I'll be glad when you finish this book, Still Black, because I know all them ancestors when you go to sleep. And like, oh, here the nigga come, here the nigga come, and wake us up in the rubber. Like they don't even want to talk to you no more. They be hiding from you because you trying to wake them up and get their story. No, man, but I thought of that when we was talking about the gate of no return, because when I saw that, man, that was probably the most impactful moment I've ever had in my life, because I'm saying it was really so heavy that my shoulders and my head and I was just almost bent over, like the moment, the time, the spirits, the pain in this cave was so heavy that I couldn't bear it by myself. I couldn't carry it by myself. So I don't know how people can do this in real time.
Yeah.
When it was there, how they could do it in real time, like Gate of No Return. How can you know? And there's this place called Popo. I was writing a story, and I got to find it, in Africa, where this chief in Africa made an agreement with this captain. So this captain would always come back and get these slaves. He built an underground area in his house. Wow. So he would invite people down as though they were friends, capture them in this place, wait until the captain came. Then he would send them out naked. There was a big well outside. He sent them out naked by this well so they can bathe. And there was a lot of sand around, so they can bathe and they can feel their feet in the sand, because this is the last time you're gonna feel the water from where you're from. Last time you're gonna feel the dirt from where you're from. And it's like, I couldn't fathom somebody doing people like that, where I want you to feel this for the last time. And it's like the gate of no return is that same thought. Like, after this bath, you're gone. And I'm saying it is so amazing of all the things that we don't want to know.
We don't want to know. I went to a place here called Ladder Plantation, and they still have the slave quarters.
Okay, and is it LADDER?
LATTA.
Okay.
Right? It's right here in Charlotte.
Okay.
They still have a little slave quarters in there. And I went there with the library, because I do poetry I used to do poetry for the senior book club at the library every first Tuesday. And we'll go there. We went there on a field trip one day, and I'm inside, and I'm seeing where, you can't go but so far, because they want to keep it where, so don't get messed up. And you can see where, and they got the big pots and the wood stove, the real deal stove that they used to hook and clean your clothes. They do all that shit in the same thing, right? All of those pots and handles, all those things there. Then we go outside to the slave quarters. Now, where they was living at, we can't get into, but where they working at was still working. Was still, you can see in it. And I'm looking at where they had the, because you couldn't, it's kind of like in India where they wouldn't touch raw hide. They would make you do all the work. All the equipment and stuff that they had there doing that. And I'm sitting here, I'm glued to all of these fixations and how they had sewing utensils and then they had tools that were used for plowing, and they had machines for them to fix and mend those pieces. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, man, like, these hellions were geniuses to bring off slavery. Think about all the thing they had to do was wake up in the morning, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, eat, go to town, take their finger, put it in the black man's mouth and taste it to see how strong he is. You know the shit they used to do. Go and see a black woman, lift her breasts up, turn around, look in between the cracks, see if she's worthy of coming to be a bed warmer. That's the main thing. Can I breed to her to make some more? That's all they had to do. These were hellions, man. but they were genius. Listen to what I'm saying. Picking cotton, having slaves pick cotton was genius. That's how America became great. Off of that shit. Think about that. The shit that you take a cotton shirt and you don't think nothing about it. This goddamn cotton shirt right here. How many of my ancestors died having to pick this shit every day? Just to make this shit. Just to get the shit to put this together. Every fucking day. You understand what I'm saying? And we sit here and take this shit for granted, man. It's okay. We can forget about that. That shit, I don't got nothing to do with that. Man, that pisses me off, AJ. That pisses me off.
But check it out. In the Black Book of Black, the first page that you read has a picture of a cotton ball to show you how big a cotton ball is. And it tells you that a cotton ball weighs 0.05 of a gram. And slaves were supposed to pick a bale of cotton. It tells you how much a bale of cotton is, because when they say tote that bale, a bale of cotton, it's like a song. It's like yo, people playing. And if you don't know how much a bale of cotton is, I'm not even gonna tell you. Just look it up. Look and see how much a bale of cotton is. Yeah, see how much a bale of cotton is. A bale of cotton ain't no joke. So imagine if it's 0.5 grams and you got to pick a bale of cotton, and how many of them little balls you got to pick. Because I remember my grandmother telling me, she said it was music if you could pick and not get pricked.
Right.
And she said sometime in good days where you can pick and not get pricked. I say I can't imagine cotton and good days dancing in the same sentence.
No.
And it bothers me. It bothers. Who is it? Okay. One Irism says, true. Things we don't want to know reminds me of when I was just out of my last year of high school, watching the Eyes on the Prize series and learning some of the ways, the level of cruelty they went through. And I'm saying we got to understand that these aren't just stories. These aren't once upon a times and shit. These aren't little, 3 little pigs and Little Red and Goldilocks and other fairy tales of Negro slavery. Yeah. Now, other fairy tales of Negro slavery. This ain't that book.
Just think about blackface in the fucking theater. I always wish I could see, and I need to see if I can find it. I remember it was Maya Angelou, it was Lou Gossett, and all of them. They did a play.
Probably James Earl Jones too.
James Earl Jones, I think he was in it too.
Yeah,
they did a play. They said they made the plays because Maya Angelou, they said, came out and she was the white queen. And she said, because she had she wasn't a small woman, and she said they had some when some of because they coming through the theater, they in the theater coming through the theater. And they said some of them be so scared they run off crying, and she said she wanted them to know what the hell we saw, because we don't get our story told from our side. Even Roots wasn't told from our side.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And y'all that love Roots, I love Roots, so I still watch it. That wasn't told from us. So somebody's telling you, so if they were that graphic with it from that side, imagine being on this side. Do you know what I'm saying? Buck breaking and shit and cutting men genital parts off and cutting your feet off and your hand and then playing the dozens. They said playing the dozens came from when they was crossbreeding that so close that the slaves was coming out deformed. You couldn't sell one, you had to sell about a dozen. And those are the ones that they lended off to poor white trash who couldn't afford slaves. So now you got him with a woman who's handicapped because she's a slave that whose mother and brother had to get together and make a baby, and now he's crossbreeding that. He's mixing that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just amazing how these are fucking human beings. And they was
now when you were talking about ladder plantation,
yeah,
I went to Whitney Plantation in Louisiana.
Did you?
So me and my girl went, and we were there, And after I finished writing the Black Book Black, I sent them 2 copies. I was trying to see if they have a bookstore. They have a store where they sell books. And then the lady told me she didn't receive the book. So I sent her 2 more copies. And then I couldn't contact her after that. But the thing was, when we went there and we were going, they got all the names of all these planes. And there's a poem, I don't know what book it's in, but there was this, they call her Siri the Idiot. I think she was like 20, 22, 23. And they say they sold her for a certain amount of money. And this was a true story. So I'm looking like Siri the Idiot. So when I wrote the poem, it was like, so they knew her worth was this amount. I'm saying, so these rappers, when they get these bonuses, are they like Siri the Idiot who don't know their worth because she didn't know what she was worth? They knew what she was worth. So when they're paying you this bonus, are you like Siri? Are you just whatever worth they say you are? So it's a shame that we're still going through the same things they went through, not even knowing that we're repeating history because we ain't paying no attention.
We paying no attention. You know, the game is on, man. Shit. I'm paying attention for the game is on. Shit. Steph Curry might
say. No, what say I accidentally swiped down and closed the live on my other phone. No, man, I appreciate you coming through because definitely, man, you need to do me a favor, follow Coach Josh Smalls on Instagram, on YouTube, and Facebook. Follow him, definitely follow me, and I'm gonna definitely follow you because I know, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate you hanging out. But every Thursday we do 10 times now, and 10 times now is saying that every moment we experience these days is 10 times more important than we see it being. And if you didn't notice, the change in America the day before the inauguration was when they made this the reflecting pool, this place with all these lights. They had one fire burning for every 1,000 people that's died of this coronavirus. And it was just amazing to hear somebody say that it mattered that these lives were gone because for 4 years, but for a whole year, they said it's gonna be gone. You know, don't worry about it. You know, it's like the common flu.
No. Let's back up. Trump said only one person coming from China. We'll be able to contain this with less than 15 people. That's what that motherfucker said. Let's go there. He said it's just one person from China. We can contain it. One person bringing it over. Maybe 15 people. We can handle that.
And then once it broke out, but the most horrible thing was when you heard the person that interviewed him play the recording that he said, oh man, this thing is horrible, man. You can catch it easily. It can kill a whole lot of people. And I'm like, he never said this out loud. No, it's Coach Ja, like Ja, J-A-H. Let me write it up here. Coach Ja Smalls.
I just want, and some of y'all that don't know, I've got a master class that I do, and this is really a reminder of the things that I'm planning to write about, and AJ is going to be in this class with me that we're going to do. My whole objective for this is when we are no longer here, when our heartbeats have been forgotten about, right? When our voices don't echo in the room anymore beyond somebody's imagination, when our echoes are no longer here, I want somebody's child, grandchild, or husband, and a teacher. I want a social worker. I want a therapist. I want a personal trainer. I want a police officer. I want somebody to pick up that book and say, oh, no, wait a minute. You got to read this here. You got to read this. Because what we're saying now on this live, we should be saying this shit every day. In fact, right after they finished raiding the Capitol, we should have been outside having this conversation. You understand what I'm saying?
Doing the live with cameras around us, and so we can see the police escort them down the stairs.
Yeah. And we're supposed to be having this conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the thing about it is we don't talk about it. Stop talking about a black agenda. Throw that shit out the window. So you ain't never going to have no black agenda in Congress. Throw that shit out the window. So if you're saying your vote count for a black agenda, you're right. It don't count for that. Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about an agenda that's going to help our community. Because what you might not know is that ghettos was for Jewish people. It had nothing to do with your black ass. You just happened to get in there when they got out. That's what the ghetto was. There was not black people in the ghetto. That was for Jewish people. So stop that. Oh, I'm only going to be a nigga in the ghetto. No, you a nigga that was moved to the ghetto. Now, we got that shit done. We need to have these conversations.
No, John, but tell them, nigga that moved up to the ghetto.
Up to the ghetto. Think about that. And then they put you in the project. Don't get me started with that shit. Don't get me started with that. Man, I used to think people lived in the project, man, was the shit, man. Because they paying $45 in rent and shit. I said they was it. My mother fought tooth and nail to keep her children out of the projects. I'm not down on people in the projects because we didn't have it easy. We wasn't on Easy Street. But she didn't want her children growing up in the projects in New York City. We went there when we was teenagers, but then we wasn't going to grow up in there. We went there because we had family there. And I understand now. But we miss all of that because we don't have these conversations.
And when we do have the conversations, they want to be where people talking about what's that ratchet, you know, people talking about whatever that video is where they do, you know, and people TikToking and want to drop it and busted whatever, and want to do all these things, and I'm like, okay, so that's cool, but while your little 3-year-old is over there trying to bust it like you doing, can they read? Do they know the alphabets? You know, can they count to 10? You know what I'm saying? What quality is it that they know all these songs that you sing, but they don't know how to write their own name? I'm saying, so we keep focusing on things that are of no consequence to us, of no consequence to the growth of our communities, to the building up of the Black unity, to helping our families, to the insurrection that just happened. So when America decided that, ooh man, this uprising of these people is bad. It's bad to have these white supremacists uprising, but I'm like, so it wasn't bad when they were cross burning in front of our houses. It wasn't bad when they were dragging people out because they say if you voted, they was gonna kill you. It wasn't bad when they start posting up saying, hey, you can't march across this bridge, and you know, I'm saying, so those things weren't bad. It's only bad when it affects you.
Yeah. I'd say it like this, AJ, and this is something that we need to think about. If your family is Black and y'all didn't move here from another country, meaning you know that you was in another place and moved here. I'm talking about your family is from here. That means you had somebody in your lifeline, in your bloodline, that was either jailed, murdered, or beat and whooped just because they wanted to vote. Think about that. Jail, beat, arrested, or murdered just because they wasn't killed, they was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they wanted to vote. Let that sink in for a minute. Because they wanted to vote. Cast a vote.
They told people, they say, look, I know tomorrow's the day to go vote. If you vote, we're going to kill you.
We're going to kill you. We're going to kill you.
And see, I always tell people, I say, people didn't die to give us the right to vote. People were killed because of voting.
Because of voting.
Which has to have a different impact.
Yeah.
Like this person right here, one Irism said, I do like Glenn Ford and Nellie Bailey with their Black Agenda radio report. But I get the point. Well, see, I've never heard that, but I'm going to write it down. What we're saying is we demanding America have a Black agenda when we don't have one ourselves. So if we create a Black agenda for us and we begin to follow that Black agenda, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But you can't expect for America to have a Black agenda when America's Black agenda was to leave us 3/5.
That was it. That was it. They didn't have nothing else for us. That's why you got to look at it like this too. They were so dumb. When they was able to, when the slaves were what we call free, they had to hire them back to do the work because they dumbass couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even that it was too much. They couldn't even do it. In fact, so here's a little history for y'all. Before they found Africans enslaved, they was trying to enslave the Irish. That's why Irish people don't like you. They jealous of you. Because they tried to do with them. Now they feel like they was better than you because they didn't get dope because they don't want to tell you the true story. They couldn't handle it. They were dying. They were dying when people tried to enslave them. If you're Irish in here, I don't mean no disrespect. I'm just talking history. These are actual facts. Go talk to your grandparents. They can tell us to be true. They were
because in New York and other places they did have Irish people as indentured servitude, indentured servants, basically. But see, indentured servant and a slave, that's not a common word. That's not a word to go together.
No.
The word killed somewhat depersonalizes the act of what took place. Using the word murder recenters the responsibility and blame where it belongs. I'm saying, just like I said, when they start calling assassinations, that's when we can actually move forward, because we celebrated Martin, Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrated Martin's birthday Monday, but we only celebrated him after he was a targeted assassination.
Yeah.
When you got to understand that Malcolm was a targeted assassination, John F. was a targeted assassination, Robert was a targeted assassination. So everybody that had a black agenda. See, everybody had a black agenda. We can celebrate them on a day that America tells us to celebrate.
Because we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday on the wrong day.
Yeah.
On the wrong damn day. Fred Hampton. Why you know why he ain't got no goddamn day. They definitely ain't giving him no day.
Yeah, because they say, the building was too heavy with lead.
They said when you try to research how many bullets went into there, they said between 90 and 99 bullets went in there. That means they don't know how many fucking bullets they went in there. Between 90 and 99, that's a broad span. That's 9 bullets unaccounted for.
No, but that's what they say about slave ships. They say it's estimated over 40,000. There was over 40,000 transports from Africa to all these countries of bringing slaves in. Each ship was retrofitted, so they say between 60 and 120 spots for slaves. And they say this because there was an acceptable loss in bodies when transporting slaves.
Yeah. So
they don't know how many slaves came here. They don't know how many ships left. But I think they do. I think they don't want us to know. Just like they know that if they separated us upon arrival, that we couldn't keep our language intact, that we wouldn't know how to trace our families. So we can't tell how many generations of rape brought me here to this American soil.
I'm putting in the feed. I'm putting if you're on IG, it's Slate, SLATE, slate.com. And it's articles of life, the history of American slavery animated. Okay. And it shows you the ships. They made an animation of the ships coming across when it was 1 and 2 and going to different places. Then it was 10, then it was 15. And then you start seeing all these dots, gazillion dots going across the slave ships coming from over to this place. And it's crazy. When you look at that, you're going to be like, but see, it's one thing when you hear it, it's another thing when you see it. And if we start seeing this shit, man, if it don't change you, then just roll over, because you might as well be dead if it don't make you want to do something.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, when I saw the shackles for babies in the wall, man, I'm gonna tell you, it hit me like there were people behind me just beat me in the back of my head. I'm saying it hit me like pay attention, like wake up, because until we actually understand that it is our duty, our solemn duty as poets, our duties as pen holders to say, look, I can't write bullshit no more. I can't sit down here and tell you that, whatever it is you want to know, I'm gonna tell you shit you don't want to hear. You don't want to know, because we don't want to know the truth. We're so fed up with the truth that we will accept what it, because we accept all the truth America gave us, and we can't be replacing that truth with real truth because we don't know where to put that shit.
We don't know where to put it. And then we scared.
Yeah.
We scared of every damn thing. Kill your black ass, but we scared of everything else.
Because I think I'm trying to figure out what poem. It's an opening line to a poem and say, I think, yes, we the people. We the people say, I know why America keeps stopping us. I know why the policemen keep stopping us. because we're surrounded by ancestors. And so they see us, the one, as many. So imagine in your mind, close your eyes, imagine a police seeing a black man riding in a car with a whole host of people in the seatbelt with him, in that one seat driving. He said, how all them people driving that car? I wonder if all of them got a driver's license. So they're stopping us because they don't understand how we've been here, still here, gonna be here after all this murder, all this mayhem, all this taking of innocent lives, all this separation of us from family, us from seeds, all these working in penitentiaries that's owned by corporations, government-sponsored prisons. See, we don't understand that as a fight right now in Louisiana, because last year the Supreme Court agreed unanimously that it was illegal for anybody to be incarcerated that did not have a jury voting 100%.
Wow.
And in Louisiana years ago passed a law that they wanted to make sure that we could lock up black people when the jury didn't have to be 100%. So they were arguing, I think it was Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh said that he didn't know if the law should be retroactive. All the other justices said, yeah, we need to make this retroactive. So anybody locked up in prison that didn't have 100% jury conviction should be retried or let go. So Louisiana is battling that right now because Louisiana made laws just for this instance to make sure that they can have a court and they can have two black people on a jury. Mm-hmm. And then there were two black people going to vote for the black person because they'd already trumped up the charges. But that wasn't enough to let them go free. So we look at movies now on how they did back then for real, how the police would wipe the little gun off and plant the gun he had in his ankle for, we're going to plant evidence. We're going to plant some bags of crack on this person. We're going to plant some cocaine in the driveway. We're going to plant these dollars in your bank account. But they've done this for years, and we look at it for entertainment like a movie.
Yeah.
We got to stop being entertained with the shit they did to us for real. Oh, speaking of Louisiana, okay, Poetic Souls, they speaking of Louisiana, yeah, right. I'm saying, but Louisiana is fighting it right now because the Supreme Court say this should be retroactive. So everybody locked up in Louisiana that didn't have 100% jury conviction should either have a new trial or be let go. So we'll see how that comes out this year.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said I need to pay attention to that because I didn't know that.
So, and I'm saying it's things going on around us that we don't think is, how we always say, oh, that ain't my business. Oh no, everything's your business now. 10 times now, everything your business. I'm granting you the authority to let everything around you be your business.
AJ, that's like a pulling your black card when possible. That statement right there is like having a black card on deck. Here's my card. I don't know, man. I just like I said, I want to start doing Zoom watch parties, and we just watch Roots and shit all the time. Let's watch Roots all the damn time. Just Roots, and we break down every segment. Oh, we didn't get enough of rewind. We watched the part 2 on Thursday. Rewind the shit. Let's go back. Let's break down every segment because you have to understand the mentality of an overseer, the mentality of someone who wants you to call them master. There was a study that I gotta go back and research, but the study was a study that said that white men are born with a superiority gene, that they feel that they are superior. They're born with this defect. And if you think about the manners by which the higher ups that run this shit, think about that. Let's think about it this way. Let's think about the poor white trash, the ones who couldn't afford slaves, the one who lived in a shack right next to the slave quarters. Okay, let's talk about him. He don't have nothing. He eating the same shit the slaves eat. The only difference is he can walk in through the front door. and we can't. That's the only difference. Same raggedy clothes. He don't have to get up to go to work in the field in the morning. That's the difference. They spat on him. They treat him like shit. He ain't nothing. He will vote to keep slavery just so he can be one up on the black man.
And that's the whole thing. That's the whole mentality of what's going on now. Is all these people, their families dying in COVID just like ours.
Just like ours.
You know, they need their stimulus money just like we do. They filed for unemployment just like we did.
More than we do.
Yeah, I'm saying, but the thing is they would rather starve to death than see you get some money.
You get some damn money. Because
if they need it, you need it, we both gonna get it. I said, I'd rather not have it so you can't have it.
So you can't.
You know, because they were talking about lynchings and photo ops. See, picnics were, I think, one of the last big lynchings in the United States was in Mississippi. It was in this town about 37 miles outside of Hattiesburg. And I was reading the story, and I can't remember exactly the name of the city. I can ask my girl, but they showed the news. I read the newspaper articles where the sheriff wrote like an op-ed. Sheriff say, "Look, I've been trying to stop this lynching. It's happening tomorrow at 6:30, but it's going to be over there on Dead Man's Field on the south side. But you know, I really think they shouldn't do it. And I really ought to stop it. But y'all come on with y'all picnic baskets, bring y'all kids." And it's like everybody, even the governor was saying, you know, I wish we could stop this lynching. It's going to happen at 6:30 tomorrow. But it was like advertising, and it was like we don't see what you think we don't know what you're doing. But I'm saying there was so many people there, and they had family, and they brought their kids and picnic baskets. Picnic was pick a nigga, because they would hang him on the gallows, kind of like the gallows that like they had at the Capitol the other day.
Yeah.
You know, they only showed you glimpses of the gallows because they didn't want to show it too long, because gallows are gallows, but these gallows was just like that. But when they hung him, they hung him and they had him up, and then what they would do is once the person's dead from hanging, everybody brought their shotgun and their guns, so they would fill the body with lead. So they had a bonfire underneath. So the fire was going, so they filled the body with the lead. So when the rope could not handle the black body filled with lead, the branch would break. You know, it would break. So when the body landed in the fire, they would still fill the body with lead, but they would cut off fingers and cut off toes and body parts and put in jars and charge people a nickel to come in and see this nigga's finger in a jar in a barbershop in Mississippi. I'm saying these are things that actually happen. I'm not making this up. And I think it's horrible that we don't know. So I got to tell you shit you don't know because you didn't want to know when you could have found out.
I want to see if I can find this picture, if I can show it, because you know, you ever heard of Whipped Peter?
No.
Gordon. He's a slave that you always see a picture of him. His back is all wept up. Look like.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
You ever heard it? You ever read his story?
No, I hadn't.
So he was a rebellious slave. He wasn't laying down for nothing. He was like, "No, I'm out of here." They grab him and whoop him again. They grab him and whoop him again. But he finally got away. And he got away and he escaped so that he can fight in the Union, get his freedom, fighting that war. And what they did was, check out how devious these motherfuckers are, man. What they did was they took a picture because they had to suit him for a uniform. And when they took his shirt off and they saw his back like that, they took a picture of that. And that is the poster that they showed for the slaves who were wanting freedom from the slave master to come and join the war. You don't have to go through this. Come join the war and we'll give you your freedom. And that's why that picture floated around like that. Ain't that some shit?
Now, but even after they fought, they weren't giving them the freedom.
Won't give no damn freedom.
And see, I'm saying, so I'm saying, it's a line say it should be called trickies instead of treaties. Because America offered, you know, would say, hey, you know, we're going to give y'all freedom. Y'all come and sign up for this, and we're going to get this. And y'all come and sign up for this 6-month experiment at Tuskegee. Come and sign up for this 6-month experiment. We just need 600 black men to sign up for this 6-month experiment at Tuskegee University. It's an honorable place. But this experiment lasted 40 years. So we can't trust America to do what she says. She never has kept her word. And now we're at a place where people say, you know, I'm so used to it. It's almost like we love to reference Charlie Brown and Lucy. Because Charlie Brown might be able to kick a field goal, but we don't know.
We don't know.
we don't know if he can kick a field goal or not. Because every time he you know, Lucy said, okay, Charlie, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna let you kick it this time. And he run back, he run full, and once his leg go back to kick, she move it, and he up in the air again. But see, that's what America has done to us. Yeah. So at some point in time, we got to say, look, we got our own holder for our field goal. We got our own field that we're gonna kick on. Your cameras ain't invited. So a black agenda is saying that we are black with our own agenda. It's not asking some white person to have an agenda for you. So imagine a black agenda is black people having an agenda for black people. It's not asking a white person to show you an agenda for a black person. Because, you know, I'm saying, somebody asked me, and this is the truth. I wrote a line that says, you know, I don't know how to write white privilege in a black poem. It would make no sense.
AJ, there's an image that I can't find right now, and they got this brother tied up, with his arms behind his back and his feet tied up, and they got cement bricks on his back. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a picture, man. They got this man. They got his feet and his arms tied behind his back. He's hanging with his arms and limbs behind him like that, and they got cement bricks, center blocks on his back, and he's hanging. So it snapped his back and everything from before. You know what I mean? Like, God almighty. These are images we need to put in the newspaper. This is the shit you need to see every day. Imagine that. He probably ain't did shit. And whatever he did, he probably deserved to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Come on. Imagine that. You hanging from a tree, your arms and your feet are brought backwards like this. So your whole body is this way, stretched back like this here. And they put cement center blocks on your back.
I'm still stuck on you saying whatever he did, he deserved to do it. And what I first started thinking is, okay, so a black man whistled at a white woman. He deserved it. She was fine, but you done raped all the black women you saw.
Every one of them.
So him just whistling is illegal, but you raping ain't?
And because that's your right. That's
like
you know, I was having a conversation, and ladies in here, I'm not knocking your makeup. I'm not mocking your makeup, but listen to what I'm saying. I was having this conversation. I was like, well, why do y'all wear makeup? And it's happening. Oh, we look this, and I said, well, you know, where does makeup come from? What happened? Where did that all come about? Just people want to look pretty. I said, that's what you think it's from. I said, think about this. Here come John and John's wife, Master John, Master Tom, whatever fucking name you want to give them. They come walking, trotting down the street, and all these slaves up here with all these full lips, these wide hips, big breasts, small waists, just fine, brick house. And he taking that back to the house, and she ain't got no lips and flat backside and ain't got what she got. So what she had to do, she had to pretty that shit up. My husband, he don't want me no more. Let me put some paint on here. Make these lips full. Let me get that garter, you know, that damn shit they use. What the you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of it right now. Come on, women, y'all know what I'm talking about, to bring your insides in. Let me get this and straighten my shit up. Black women ain't dressed like that. They ain't have to. Sister, you ain't never had to dress like that. But this is where it started. And we miss it. That is making a mockery of you. They're trying to overdo what you were naturally born with, them big full lips and that broad nose. Beautiful. That's where your makeup came from. And they didn't know that. Were you sure? I said, no, I ain't sure. I want you to go prove me wrong, though. No, I ain't sure. But I want you to go prove me wrong. Go ahead and look it up. See where that started.
It sounds like a true story to me.
Listen, you didn't wear that in Africa.
Yeah.
For what? By the time you put it on in Africa, you sweated it off anyway. You wore.
Now you danced it off.
You danced it off. You wore your tribal colorings and your brandings. You wore paints and things like that. It wasn't this chemical paint either that'll kill you. It was stuff that they created from the ground.
From plants, yeah.
Plants.
But you said slate.com, right?
Slate, SLATE.com.
Okay, slate.com. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Yeah. Check that out. That's
it's a reminded me of this Ice Cube song called Cave Bitch. I'm not familiar with that one.
Me either. Yep, yes, Clay too. Yes, Clay.
Let's say you're looking for corset.
Corsets, that's what it was. Come on, I knew somebody had it.
No, but see, when we are the one perpetuating the horrible things that happen to us as if it's okay now because we're talking about it, it's still not okay. See, it's not okay that black men will put his hands on a black female or not defend black females. We are supposed to defend any female, black or white, because no female is supposed to go through any abuse the way we see it, the way we see on the streets. You're not supposed to bring out your phone and record this as if I just want to show people what I see. No, we got to start being involved in the moment. We got to start participating. Like, hey, hold up, man. You don't need to do this. I'm saying, so what is it? I authorize you to participate in whatever you need to participate in, because now you don't have to say no, never mind. I don't matter. I'm not involved in that. No, we're where we are because we haven't been involved in being involved.
Exactly, because we ain't been involved in nothing but foolery. Black people is the only people that love to say they proud to be what everybody else called them. Tupac said, "Oh, nigga mean this and da 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 da." Fuck that. You can't glorify nigga. I don't give a damn how you change. You can't glorify it.
No.
You can't glorify it. I understood it. Don't get me wrong. I love rap music. But that's the wrong shit to put out. That's the wrong shit to put out. Really glorifying it. It's okay now. We can say that.
No, but the more we display hate for one another, the more money you get paid.
More money you get paid.
I think Spike had the movie with blackface where it was, I can't remember what, Glover was in it.
Bamboo.
Yeah, Bamboozle. Yeah, Glover was in it. But it was a depiction of how we get out here and we say, oh, I can make some money doing this, and then what happens is you begin to reflect on how your ancestors gonna rebuke you when you go to sleep. So we don't understand. See, these aren't nightmares we're witnessing. These are people telling us that we're doing some foul shit. These are they saying, look, you can't get up and do this tomorrow. You can't wake up and be the you were yesterday today. You better be better. You better do something. You better put a fight up for justice. You better put a fight up for somebody in your community. You better understand that you need to go and tell them people they need to vote. You can't let them people keep running through your community, running rapid and doing these kids wrong and acting wrong in these schools and not paying teachers and all these things. We just looking at like it don't matter.
Like it don't matter. AJ, I've done some.
No, Mike, it's not Shibuya. I know Shibuya. My girl. No, the city it's like 37 miles from Hattiesburg, and I'm gonna look it up in a minute. I don't have my other device in here.
I've done some very violent things in my life, right? I've been a part of some things that I would never admit to, because I wouldn't want people to know of those things, right? I'm not a rapist or a child molester, so take that out your mind. But I've done some violent shit in my life growing up where I grew up at. I've been a part of some things. I've seen some things, right? I've been attacked. But for the life of me, I don't understand how people don't see that you were genuinely created to do good and not bad. And I'm gonna prove it in a statement. I'm gonna prove it real fast to you that you would prove that your nature, your natural nature, the natural self is of good. And I'm gonna prove it. Everybody that's on this feed, even if you watch the replay, I want you to think back to your childhood and think about all the bad stuff you did. You took money out your mother's change, out her purse. You grabbed a little weed from your cousin's house, your aunt's house. You stole something from the store. I'm talking about way back, long time ago. Little lies you told, you think you're gonna get out of trouble. Think about that. Go back to when you 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and think about everything you did good.
Mississippi.
Think about all the good stuff you did in your life. Don't worry about the bad stuff right now, right? So take your time. Think about the bad stuff first and then think about the good stuff. Try to name all the good stuff you did years ago. I'm not talking about yesterday or Tuesday, right? I'm talking about when you was a kid. Think about the good stuff. You can't. You know why? You can't because when you do something good, you're on a straight and narrow path. It's natural. It's natural for you to smile at somebody. It's natural for you to do a good deed. You feel good when you do it. But when you do something bad, you have to make a decision to do the bad thing. The good thing is easy to do. You don't make a decision to do good, it just happens, right? The bad thing, you got to make a decision, which means you going down this lane, you got to see that fork in the road and decide, oh, am I going to punch him? Am I going to steal this quarter? Am I going to, piss on this lady car that's parked right here? Am I going to kick this dog? You got to think about it because you have to come out of your natural state of being to do something that is outside of your natural state of being. And when you do that, it leaves a stump. You remember when you made that wrong turn, you got lost when you was trying to find that liquor house and you went the wrong street. You remember that? You can remember that. But when you drove to the store, you don't remember every block. I went down to Maine, but I don't know if I turned off before I got to this street or, you know what I'm saying? The natural stuff is natural, so you don't ever remember it because it's part of who you are. It's the negative stuff that you will always remember because that was outside of your natural state. And I'm saying that to say that when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's so easy for you to do it. It's when you say, oh, man, I ain't dealing with that shit. You got to change your whole demeanor. Your face got to screw up, your eyes, your mouth, your energy, everything changes because you have to come outside of your natural state of being. Problem with Black people, we are so used to being outside of our natural state of being that it's so easy to do the wrong shit. It's so easy to accept that because we're so used to being outside of it. And if you think about it, it's a real simple thing to do. You are never going to remember every good thing you've done. Not possible. But you can probably remember every bad thing you've done, no matter how big or small. Especially if it was big, you're going to remember that. But it just shows you that your natural state of being, when you're there, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Everything that's good, everything that's positive. And or I'm not, how you say, I'm not going to accept that energy. I'm not taking on that energy because you're in your natural state. In order for you to do something outside of that, you have to change everything from the way you look, the way you feel, your body temperature changes, your frown changes, everything changes instantly.
I agree, man, because it's always a conscious decision. I'm saying just like when you're writing, you say, okay, so this poem can take a turn for the worse or for the best, or I could tell the truth. So the worst and the best don't have nothing with the truth. Got no part of the truth. So if it tells the truth, the worst and the best is your discernment, what the truth looks like to you.
Yeah.
But now, man, I agree because a lot of times you say, "Ooh, am I gonna do this? What are the repercussions?
Mm-hmm.
What if I get caught? Because I always think I'm like, okay, if I get caught, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, I got two nephews, man, that they've spent so much time in prison that over the last year, either one of them is in and one of them's out. Sometimes both are in. And they used to. My sister and them used to drop all the kids. They'd come over my house and play with my sons, and I'd have game tournaments in the back room. They'd be on the Nintendo, front room they'd be on the Xbox, whatever, on the PlayStation. So you got the game is to make it to the front so you can play on the championship. And that's what we do the whole weekend. So I asked him one time. I say, is it my fault because I don't know how to deal with this, because everybody else, my sons, you know, I had a son that was trouble at one time, but he was living in the garage, so he had to understand that he was not invited to the house. If you want to be trouble, you could be trouble by yourself, but you come in the garage, go out the garage, come in the house, and you shower every other day. We'll feed you once a day in the garage. Other than that, there was a TV in the garage that didn't have no picture, but you could hear the show. So you ain't getting no glory out of me. But the whole thing is when you understand there are repercussions for your decisions.
That's it.
See, we have a whole list of white people that ran through the Capitol of the president. We got senators, we got representatives, that there are no repercussions for their actions, because white privilege is not used to having anybody tell them the privilege they have is rebuked. We're taking that privilege back, because we didn't even know what white privilege looked like until, it started glowing and shit in the dark and glowing in the White House,
Right.
Wait till you tell people like, y'all ain't seeing my taxes. No, I ain't showing up. I ain't doing no interviews. We know what white privilege was to somebody start saying, I'm not doing it. And they sitting there looking like, well, you got to do it. The law right here say you got to do this. Look, it's written in this Constitution. He said, I don't care. And then we start saying, oh, that's what white privileges look like.
That's what it looked like. And he orange. Listen, Cole said to say hey to you.
What up, Cole, man? We need to talk. But check it out. Mike had said, I looked up the city. It's Ellisville. And this is the caption. It says, John Hartfield was a black man who was lynched in Ellisville, Mississippi in 1919 for allegedly having a white girlfriend. The murder was announced a day in advance in major newspapers. A crowd of as many as 10,000 watched while Hartfield was hanged, shot, and burned. 10,000 people came to this little town in Mississippi called Ellisville because it was in all the papers. And I was telling you, the governor and the police chief and all these people say, look, we can't stop this hanging that's happening tomorrow at 6:30. We tried like we could to stop this hanging that's happening tomorrow at 6:30.
But see, this is why they ran to the Capitol like that.
Yeah.
We can't stop it. They're coming. We can't stop it.
Wait till they wait till they gather all the information, because now you find out the two captains, the two people one person that was over the House, one person over the Senate, that they relieved of duty. 3 days in advance, they was asking for help. And they said, no, we don't need no help. You don't know what it looked like. So, and then when the governor called the guy that's over security over armed forces, because they need authorization to let the troops enter into federal space, and he didn't want to answer the phone for an hour and a half, and the president was sitting there watching TV like he was like, get your popcorn ready, like T.O. say.
Yeah.
And after an hour and a half, he got this call from an unmarked phone saying, look, yeah, you can send the troops now. But Rudy Giuliani called the senator from Alabama, Tuberville, left a message on the wrong phone. Yeah, he said, Senator Tuberville, Coach, can I call you? Coach, we go a long way back, Coach. But what we want you to do is we want you to hold up everything. Don't let it move forward yet. So there's planning in the plan.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't know who all was involved. So as soon as they understand that this black person that got VP on her name don't care about white privilege. She's been talking about white privilege since Kavanaugh wouldn't be in office in the seat if they had listened to what she was saying that he did. All these things we got to understand that.
Yeah.
Privilege ain't finna be privilege no more.
No more. Not when you got a Maxine Waters in there, but they're talking about Trump. She said Donald Trump is a scumbag. I said,
when she said everybody that participated ought to be banned from their seat, ought to be disbanded, ought to be removed. And that's the truth, because the 14th Amendment, third part says that, you can't be part of an insurrection and want to be in Congress. You can't be part of an insurrection and you want to be a senator and you want to run for office.
Which is why they want them to forget about trying to impeach him.
Yeah, so because if they get him, that means that
Everybody gonna fall. Well, he gonna tell it anyway because he don't give a damn. But I can't get it back anyway. So here you go. Crazy.
And that's so wrong that the person that's out here talking the loudest is the scaredest. That's true.
That's always
the glaring white privilege that made everybody wince at the same time all around the world. Yeah, they said the glaring white privilege that made everybody wince at the same time all around the world. See, America has been an example of a good republic for all these countries.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just watched a president tell people not to secure this bound. Because if you remember when Black Lives Matter was marching, they acted like they was gonna steal the bricks from Lincoln Memorial and he was gonna be sitting on the ground. They're gonna steal that chair. But these people went in there, they took podiums, Nancy Pelosi's computer, they took letters, they sit in the hall, they went through these people's desks and they went there, they said, oh no, that's he said, oh, that's Cruz. You know, he's with him.
AJ, listen, I saw one video. He was like, it's got to be something in these papers that we can go through and show.
Yeah, and they were taking pictures.
They were taking pictures of paperwork, legal documents. Oh, man.
And then they was arresting people and letting them go.
Yeah. First of all,
the guy with the horns. They let him go.
Let's back up.
I'm trying to.
I
wrote what they called it. I wrote what they called it, but he didn't have to pay no bond. He didn't have to pay nothing.
What did he do with the horns? He got out.
Yeah. The next day, he had to pay no bond. He had to pay nothing. And I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so
you said you don't know what it's called.
I'm saying. No, I know that. I'm saying the legal name of what they labeled it for white people.
I'm giving you the legal name. We know what the legal name is called. Shit.
But I was amazed. I'm saying I've seen black people, the black people they arrested for Black Lives Matter marches, for those marches, they charged them a bond. They had to pay a fee to get out, and they hadn't done nothing. They just peacefully protesting.
Listen,
these people, insurrection.
Yeah, Braxton, who we had on here, that was a councilman, was arrested. You're a councilman, damn it, what that? You can't do. Everybody know you. Hell, the police that probably arrested him knew him. I'm sure they've been to the county meeting at one point in time.
Yeah, they arrested him because they said we always wanted to feel what it felt like to arrest you because you up there talking all loud and we can't do nothing about it. Like you got black privilege and we don't even know what black privilege is.
When black and privilege don't even go in the same sentence.
Really, ain't no P in being black. Ain't no P in black.
There's a poet. I'm not gonna mention their name. They did a poem about black privilege. It was the stupidest poem I heard in my life. First of all, how you gonna name a poem "Black Privilege" and then talk about somebody white asking what black privilege is? That was just the dumbest poem I heard in my life. I don't even know what made them do that. I'm not gonna mention the gender because you'll know who it is, but just that was the dumbest fucking. Like when I heard that poem, I heard him. I said, "What?" That. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had jumped off the subject. Black privilege. Yeah.
Hey, John, I'm trying to find this piece that I actually rediscovered. Man, what is it? Because I wrote this poem Dixie, right? When I had to go to court in Mississippi. So I'm sitting in court in Mississippi, and I'm looking, remember girls sitting there, I'm paying. I'm cool. I'm paying attention. I got my phone, but I look up, and there is an American flag and a picture of the president. There's a Confederate flag and a picture of Andrew Jackson and a couple other pictures on that side. So I'm sitting in court. I'm sitting in court looking at Andrew Jackson and Confederate flag, and I'm gonna walk up here and say, "Yo, sir, can I have some justice?" You mind if I get a little justice up in here?
Just a little bit.
I'm like, ain't no justice when if the Confederate flag is already there. I don't know what justice is gonna be. Justice can't even come to court. Ain't invited. You have to come around. Talking about your hat. Talking about your hat, the Giants. He said the Giants on your hat, yeah.
Man. How old is he?
14.
14. Yeah. Did you find your poem? I want to hear this poem now.
I found one, but that's not the one I was looking for. I'm trying to.
It's funny because, like I said, I was looking through. I got so many poems that I have that I need to finish up that I hadn't even revisited. Man, these poems, the dates. This is from 2017 August. I got all kind of shit in here. I'm gonna have to go through some of this stuff, man.
Okay. Oh wait, this line right here is wrong. Let's see how this. Oh man, let me go back because this. I found it. Let me try to. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm trying to straighten this line up. So.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing. I'm
gonna have to
make a note
tonight.
Make a note. I gotta fix this poem the way it's spaced. Oh, title is Lost in Time, right?
Lost in Time?
Lost in Time.
Okay.
Let me see. When it say they ransacked the place like it was a SWAT team drug raid in the hood, and they left Tay and Ray Ray to clean up the mess.
Tay and Ray Ray.
Yeah. Now, because I saw the black lady dusting off the Constitution. That's when I posted on my page. I'm like, and she's still looking for a name. But this is Lost in Time.
Okay.
There are mirrors of memories, reflections of yesterdays trapped in a cluster of tomorrows, where tortured spirits linger. No one really knows how it works, where ancestors go when rest is unavailable. How a grave is not a bed of roses, how tombstones are too heavy for spirits to move, how a funeral can never be a so long a goodbye, how tears are never wasted. Crying has to be the reason we have ducks in our eyes instead of dams. What if loved ones lost, huddled by the masses in a void of time set aside for remembrance? What if there are no memory markers for our memories to mark? What happens if we can't remember? It doesn't mean time has failed to matter. Our thoughts are broken. Do we blame ourselves when forgetting gets hard or become too easy? How does echoes work? Who is charged with repeating words screamed in the direction of mountains or clouds, hoping heaven is listening? What if listening is learning? If so, what are you listening to? And who are you teaching? What if every repetitive sound is a cry for help from someone somewhere we can't see? What if the only words we hear are those we're willing to let in, to let go, to repeat as an echo? What if love is an echo? When it doesn't come back, do we consider it not love? Where does love go when another's heart is unavailable, when it becomes impossible to salvage moments you deem cherishable? Is there a sacred sound, a secret hello or goodbye we save and savor in the mirrors of our hearts? What if hearts are mirrors? What if memories are mirrors, reflecting only what we want, only what sits directly in front of us? How can we move beyond the barriers we built to keep love safe? What if love is not supposed to be safe? Somewhere there's a cluster of tomorrows hiding the pain of our yesterdays. No one really knows how it works. Where ancestors go when rest is unavailable, how a shallow grave forces their memories to remain above ground, how funerals are for those above ground and not below.
Wow. Who's above ground and not below it? Yeah. And so what book is that in? Or that one ain't get in the book?
It's still black. It's coming in still black. Yeah. I'm saying that's one of the ones I found that I finished up. That I tell you, I found about 12 poems, and I still haven't found the 9 I was looking for.
Wow.
But I found 12 poems that I wasn't looking for that I finished and put in there.
That's great, man. I'm just skimming through a lot of stuff that I have to go back and repeat. Listening to you do that, man. I got a lot of work to do, bro.
No, no, man. But I'm gonna tell you, man. You read something the other day, man. Where was I'm trying to think of what you were on. You read something the other day, and I was like,
Ooh.
no, you read that one to me. It was something. It was on the live you was on, or something. You read it, and I think it was a poem that's probably an old poem or something. I just hadn't heard it, and I was like, damn, he finna make me go and write some other shit.
The one I start off with, son. They want to see you dead. Is that one? It might have been that one.
No, it might be. I think it is that one.
Yeah, and so that poem, the way I wrote that poem is so that you have to marry the voice in order to get the poem.
Okay.
Because the poem is actually supposed to seem as if there's an elder male and black male at that in the building speaking to the masses. And just like when he says son, he pointed at every black man in the building. When he say daughters and your sisters, it's about every woman in the building. But even deeper than that in the whole, you know, so that's how that poem was written. I actually end up really loving that poem because of what it came out to be. Because I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
No, I'm saying it's definitely fire, man. Because I was telling you, man, all these poems in here, I went back and found, and it's like refurbishing a house or some shit. Like you say, you know how they have these people that go in these houses and say, okay, we're gonna knock the wall out of this kitchen and we're gonna expand it this way and we're gonna add this and we're gonna put this little splash behind it. You know, I didn't know what a splash was. They're gonna put this splash behind the countertops and all this other stuff. That's what this book is. This book is me knocking the wall out of the kitchen, putting a splash behind the countertop, putting in a great sunken tub that's a jacuzzi bathtub, you know, on the roof, not in the bath, just on the roof, a jacuzzi bathtub on the rooftop. This shit is this shit is exciting to me.
Damn. Look at Mike. He found 12 poems, but not the 9 he was looking for. Mike, I don't know, man. I don't know how he do that. It's a lot of work.
No, because because I guess the way my mind works is it's focused on finishing this book. Mm-hmm. So I write everything else, but the poems that supposed to be for this book kind of has like a yellow marker on them or a glow or something. So I'm supposed to write those. And those are what I'm trying to find. And I can't remember what folder they're in. I don't know. I know they're in a folder. And the folder was downstairs. And I don't see any folders downstairs. Now I remember when we cleaned up, put stuff in boxes in the garage. And now we got a friend living with us that have boxes in the garage. So that's,
you don't know where you're at now.
No, man, I'm saying this. I go in the garage, man. I just look around like this. And if it don't hop out the box, I'm going back in the house, man, because it don't even matter.
Never mind. I'll write another one before I find that one.
But man, I'm telling you, man, the book is gonna be like 270 something pages.
Yeesh. So you wait for that to come back from the other one. You got one coming from the copier now, right? From the printer?
Yeah. I got one coming, but this version isn't. I'm sending this version this week. It's going to the printer, so it's gonna be back as soon as hopefully the first week of February.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm trying to pre-sell them now. But yeah, man. But this version ain't, because that version is like 200 pages, and this is like 280.
Yeah, I'm just, I have so much stuff that I need to pull together. I think so the poems that I have when I'm saying son and daughter, even though I am talking to my children, I'm talking to everybody, and I just haven't had a title for those poems yet, because those poems are past beyond me. You know what I mean? They're just in another place. And I want to say, so I get my inspiration from watching movies and documentaries, and then it hits me. Like when I wrote a poem for Laquan McDonald. Laquan McDonald was the brother that the police officer killed in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot him 16 times. He shot him, and he turned around. He turned around and fell to the ground. And while he was on the ground, the police officer kept shooting him, shot him 16 times. And I wrote that poem in 8 minutes after watching that documentary. And I keep saying I'm gonna go back and edit it, and I hadn't been back to it yet. And sometimes I can't because it emotionally takes me. But that's one of the poems that's going to the book me and Wits are doing together. But it's poems like that I can find placing for. But these poems that I'm writing that start off son, daughter, those poems, I don't have a title worthy of those poems yet.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, even the book you have, 1,101 love notes from Dad. It's, to me, it's for any father that it's not gender specific. The child, it's just that poem is for your seeds. You understand the connection. You can feel the connection.
Yeah, I want to do a father daughter. So I didn't get to do a book release for that one because of COVID. And I want to do a father daughter, or uncle niece and grandfather granddaughters. I want to do an event that so there are men who've been raised to be such hardened men that they don't know how to say I love you in that way. And it doesn't mean that they don't love, but they don't know how to do that. And I'm sure you've met men who are like that.
Oh yeah, and a lot of them do want to. They just don't know how. Like I don't know how to say it. Yeah, and one thing, this is off the subject. When I was going to finish these, there was one poem I had, and I was trying to figure out. I said, okay, so how many nails does it take to close a casket? So I had to Google it, and usually they say six. What is it? 6, 10 finished nails, wow. And that's a type of nail. So, and that was the last line of this poem. It says, there's a message somewhere written on the underside of dirt, on the inside of boxes, locked tight with 6, 10 finished nails, help carved in the ceiling with broken fingers of sons gone too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's what I'm talking about. When to get to the guts of it, let's just get to the guts of it and stop dicking around with it. Let's just get right to it.
But sometimes we have to research. We got to research what it is you want to say, because I don't want you to embellish something you can look up and find the exact thing that you're looking for. Write it exactly. Don't make it up. Don't say, I think it's this. No. Say it is this. Because that's what my buddy used to say. He used to say, man, I hate poems with like in it. He said, is it like, or is it that?
Right.
Make up your mind. Is it like something, or is it that particular item? And if it's not, make that item something different and make it that instead of like something. So, and a lot of times we learn lessons from other people, and it may not be the lesson you're looking for. It may not be what you came to class for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we be expecting to come away with something different when we come away with what we needed.
Yeah.
See, we don't know what need is until that shit shows up. Taps you on the shoulder. Taps you on the shoulder. Say, hey, how you doing? I'm need.
Or kick you in your back, whichever one you want. But see, that's what I'm saying about those particular poems and why they read like that, because I read them like a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to grasp it like it's just a regular fly-by-night poem. If my tone of my voice is as if I'm delivering a monologue, it's almost like I'm delivering a eulogy.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote those poems like that. And and I start them off with that because it's I want you to guess who I'm talking to. When I say son, I want you to see me as an old man with that father time to whoop my ass, and I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these lessons.
The Chinese man with the long white beard. I want you to see me that old.
That came out the cave where the rocks is. Nobody knew he lived in. Yeah. Right. Because I used to like those movies where the guy would come out, the hermit, and he was all by himself, and he was like, man, this guy's a hermit. He lived by himself. He don't he don't do nothing. He don't talk to nobody. And when they finally talk to him, they say the reason he don't talk to nobody is because people wasn't ready to listen.
That's it.
See, you don't know what truth is until it shows up and it mirrors you. And it's the you hadn't planned on facing at this particular juncture. So truth is you with the frown on your face because they're tired of you laughing at shit that ain't funny.
That ain't funny. Not at all. And you still keep laughing at it. Even after I told you the shit ain't funny.
Make up your mind.
Make up your dang old mind, brother. But yeah, that's how those people. I'm gonna read one of them. I don't know if this is the one that you was talking about, but this
I'm ready.
This is son. You know the police have authority over you. Authority over your breathing. There's a common law that makes him always have authority to take you from us. So what can I tell you to keep you here, alive? How can I speak to that voice inside that makes me flinch every time there's a news feed? Son, they are gunning for you, making plans to use for us to see you covered in earth and hitting so far that you never see it again. My babies, my sweetheart. I know sweet 16 sounds great. Sounds like just maybe this could be the greatest day ever, but I must warn you. They want your blood. They want to decorate this land with your disposal. They want to see you leaking from bullet wounds and our eyelids at the same time, baby girl. I want you to know this. Know that no matter how they smile, they do not like you. They do not like you. They don't like you, baby girl. They want to swallow you, my son. They want to devour you, my children. I have to tell you the truth. Bring your enemy to the family room circus box because you must know who they are. You are not a descendant of a slave. They made your families slaves, treated them worse than savages. Evil white men made us know what it meant to belong to them, and some still want us to belong to them. So they want to bridge you to a lie as if they cannot believe it within their own eyes. So do not sing of a wretch. That is not you. They made you who they need, made you what they can control, but will tell you different. I will train your ear to things you don't want to hear. Bend your hearts to know how many men wish to see your downfall. How they want to see you ragged and begging the same folks who wish to see you dead, dear children. You are to walk along these streets that don't know your rhythm. A continent that can't make you comfortable, a climate that shelters you from your own self, from your own God, till you hide from your own reflection. They cannot make your footsteps feel safe or tuned to anything besides a little girl in Wonderland lost. There's no place like home, and this is not your home. It can't be. Not when it tastes like separation. Not when it sounds like young war against elderly. Not when old folks live in a home instead of at home. For this is no place for saints. These are hellions. These are devils who trash the names of so many, make war zones out of apartment housing and low-income developments. They want to feast on you. They want to see you dead, my son. Hold dear to your sister. Spend time with your grandmother and ask her about your past, who your ancestors are. Ask how big their shoes were. Ask if the neighbors wore dashikis because they looked good or because they had something else to say. Ask how you got here. Whose name lines the bottom of bill of sale. Ask her about who you are and who bought you. Who paid for the ship to scale the rough waters, carrying cargo, carrying your ancestors. Ask the world to be truthful. Do it by standing your ground, knowing thyself, and giving hell to anyone who dare call you from outside of your name. So ask this world, dear child, and remember, these people will never care, and you will make the best of every situation, even though they want to see you dead.
Man, everybody just came in. That was the great Coach Josh Smalls. Follow him on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. That piece was fire. Yeah, what's up, King's Thieves? That piece was fire, man. You said, I wanted you to go back because it was toward the beginning. You say, son, they're gunning for you, making plans for your, it was like,
they're gunning for you, making plans for us to see you covered in earth and hidden so far that you never see it again.
That, and then you say, do not sing of a wretch.
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I can hear the Negro spiritual already, you know, when you said that.
Yeah.
Not singing wretch, you know, like wretched, like what song, Wretch Like Me, whatever it says.
Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
Amazing Grace. I'll sweet as okay. Oh,
Save a wretch like me. Yeah.
Yeah, wretch like me.
Save that, yeah. And then you say, whose name lines the bill of sale.
Yeah, man.
And I'm saying all those things show that we are finally coming into our own, but we have to discover where we came from. Like you say, you know, where how did you get here? What is it dashiki because it's stylish?
Right. Or they had some shit they need to get off their chest, you know?
Yeah. You know, so this decorate this land with your disposal, because we talk about how we're destroying America, destroying the land with plastic and all this, and it's like we're just that disposable.
Yeah. It's
like they're getting rid of us like we're just plastic. Like we're the bags from Walmart that you don't know what to do with after you get the shit out of.
We recyclable.
Yeah. Now, I mean, what was the name of that piece?
I don't have a name.
I think so. Police have authority over your breathing.
Over your breathing. Think about having to tell your child that. And think about if you ain't fucking telling your child that. You better be telling them that. That's lawful. If I feel threatened, bam, he's dead. That's law to kill you. Because he thought you were threatening him by being black.
And I have a line in the poem say maybe we should handcuff ourselves to stop police from shooting us in the back, fearing for their life. So should we all be equipped with handcuffs in our cars? So we just handcuff ourselves. Look, officer, I'm already handcuffed.
I'm already handcuffed.
Yeah, I can't get no gun, so don't kill me today.
Let me live just a little bit longer.
I'm just going to get some milk.
Yeah, that's it. IG, my phone getting ready to die. So if you on my IG, come on to YouTube if you can, and because I'm gonna because I want to make sure I save this. Come on to YouTube, Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube, or go to AJ's page on Instagram and lock on his page, because I'm gonna end this here. We'll stay on his for a little bit longer, but go to AJ Ward page and AJ Houston. It's AJ Word artist, right?
Yeah, AJ Word artist, yeah.
Yeah, go to AJ Word artist, and because it's gonna die, and I'm not gonna leave my phone down looking up.
What's up, Brooklyn? What's up, Jazz?
I'm gonna send it over there. Come on over there, or come on.
Man, I appreciate you coming through, Jazz.
All right, peace. Thank y'all for being here.
Man, I'm writing your name down because I don't remember seeing your name, but I definitely need to follow you. Thank you for coming through. If you're listening, this is Thursday. We do 10 times now. Coach John and I, man, we we're trying to build this thing up. And if you know anybody running for office, or if you know anybody want to run, if you know somebody want to talk politics or talk whatever, you can come on here. We have whatever discussion you want to have. There's no limit. There's no bounds. There's nothing off guard. The only thing is you have to come with an open mind, because we're willing to listen. We just want you to be willing to listen to.
Yeah. Because you might come for some answers, but it don't mean it's going to be the answers that you thought you was going to
get. Yeah. Might come for some answers and leave with some new questions.
Yeah, a whole lot of them. And if you ain't leaving no questions when you leave here, you ain't been listening.
No, man, but that piece, man, I was trying to think. I don't even know what you should title that piece, man. You gotta what is it going? What book is it going in? What are you gonna put it in?
Is that the one? Let me ask you this first. Is that the one that you was talking about?
What, the poem?
Yeah.
No. I hadn't heard that one. That's not it.
Okay, so the other one, I got another one like that. And so I watched this. I was watching something, I think, on YouTube. It was a bunch of monologues, and the monologues were about, you know, just police brutality and all these things. And I wrote both of those poems, I think, in the same night, and I had to get off and go to it because it just pulled me there. And I really enjoy when that happens, when it's an instant reason for me to write. And so I don't have a name. They still untitled. Even the other one that I know the one you talk about now, because I got two like that, and it starts off the same way. And I don't have a title for those. But what I think I want to do with those is I want to make them. I want to do videos with those poems. And so you'll see marching and different things that had happened with those particular poems. So I'm gonna do a series of them. I just don't know. I don't have a title for them or anything yet, but I already have a feeling for it, which is the best part. But I don't have a title, and the book just might be untitled. Who knows? I mean, I don't know yet.
Man, the first poem I want to do a full-fledged video on is the one I wrote for my mother. It's called Now and Then.
How's she doing, by the way? Because I didn't ask you.
Well, they've said she's doing a little better. She ate today, but they thought she had they were going to send her to a different room because they thought she had an infection, thought a whole lot of stuff. But they're still checking. They're giving her. They're trying to get rid of COVID. See, COVID give you the illusion of everything else being wrong too. So they're doing it, and she can't feed herself, so they don't know what it is that's bothering her. What's affecting her movement.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things that they're working on. She's actually doing therapy now to try and work it out. But it's, you know, I'm saying it's frightening, man. And that's what now and then is the poem I wrote for my mother. That's what I wanted to do a video on. And it's basically saying, like, I would never ask my mother what she thought of now. Because now is just like then. So how can you distinguish between the problem they had then and the problem we have now when they still look the same?
They look the same. They still look the same, AJ.
Hey, Carla Blackberry, what up? Betty, what up? No, but it's amazing, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. But yeah, if you get a chance, I'm saying Coach Ja got 3 books. You need to go check him out. He has 101 Love Notes from Dad. He has what's the other one? I had the other one right here.
Thoughts and the Black Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just sent Miss Betty books to her. She should have her book soon. The mail is behind back every week. Every time you go, I went to the UPS store to send them off. They said it's still everything back booked up. It's behind, but they in the mail. You know. So when people buy them and it's people that I don't know and they don't care to get it signed, it's a little quicker because I can send it straight from there. But if I got to come here for me to sign it, if I don't have them, and then send them out because they're so back behind. They sent me books I ordered in December. I just got and
I know I'm waiting on the ship of Black Book of Blacks right now.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be here Monday.
I'm telling people now, look, let me send it from the place so you get it quicker, and I'll see you. I'll write you a letter. You can just tape the letter inside and probably get it.
Now, but Betty say, is it the poem I shared with her? I think the poem I shared with you, Betty, might have been either was it? No, it wasn't Harriet's Feet. I'm trying to think of what it was. I don't know. I'm saying last 2 or 3 days, but I did like 30 poems, so it's hard for me to figure out what is what. But no, it's but Harriet's Feet. I'm saying I really do like that poem. I like Harriet's Feet. That's
yeah.
because the research was worth it, because I was researching that, and I didn't even use a lot of, and what I tell people is, when you research a poem, all you're doing is you're filling your mind with all the knowledge you need for this particular subject, although everything might not go in the poem. But when you write, you want to write it from a factual aspect of the truth of whatever you're writing. So when you have the truth, you can put in your own words. We're not trying to plagiarize no parts of the facts that you look up. I just want you to be equipped. You need, for your mom and Harris too. Now my mom's poem, I read that a while back. I hadn't read that in a long time. I think I read it when I wrote it. But that's what Betty was asking. Now my mom's poem is Now and Then. I think when I wrote that, I read it, and I just wanted to get it out, because I wanted people to know that, man, it's just an honor to have somebody believe in you before you believe in yourself.
Yeah, man. Yo,
Honored to know that you've made it this far, because they prayed for you more than they prayed for themselves.
AJ, there's a man, that's so heavy, man. I was my previous relationship, and sometimes Andre, all my stuff is on Amazon, but if you buy them from me, I get to keep more of my money. Amazon, I don't get to get it. So if you whether you want, however you need to, just send me your information. You can DM me, and I can coordinate with you like that. PayPal, however it works, Zelle, whatever works, and I can get them to you. But definitely send me your information, and we can definitely make it happen. I can get you on books. AJ got a bunch of books. AJ got a gazillion books. AJ can have you reading books for the rest of your life with what he has in his collection right now. So keep that in mind too.
No, but like Josh say, like Amazon, because I started thinking that me and Amazon collaborated on my books. Because it was like, okay, so this is all I'm getting from the book that you helped me write. And I was like, wait a minute, Amazon didn't help me write not one of the books. So I actually I paid books from Amazon. So yeah, you can actually send Coach John, man, get his books. Let me go over here and get these books so they can see what they look like.
And AJ, we're gonna do I'm gonna read my timeline one too, man. Something I put on my timeline some time ago.
Okay.
But I really enjoy we are doing. Thank you. Okay. I really enjoy when people enjoy my work, and I'm gonna tell you, the first time I heard. So I've gotten pictures of people who sat at the park and read my books, or it was in a library setting or something like that, and they send pictures of them reading my book. It was always a beautiful thing. Like, that warms your heart. But when somebody actually takes the time to read your book, man, when you started reading my poem from my book online, I didn't even. I was like, oh shit, that sounds familiar.
didn't even know it was your poem.
and then I said, wait a minute, that's my damn poem. So let me say this about that book right there. My 19-year-old, all y'all that's on here, that book right there, I keep that book with me, like, you keep your Bible. I keep that book like it's my driver's license. My 19-year-old daughter was going through a very, 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 very rough time. And when people say, man, these are some beautiful poems, and I love that book. I love that book, says everything about love. It brings me to remembering why I wrote that book. And I tell a lot of people, I wrote that book because I was trying to save my daughter's life, man. And I don't know if any of you have dealt with a child who was to the point where they said, I don't want to live anymore. And to hear your baby say that, I mean, it's so, and it's nothing you can do. And so I got a poem that says, baby girl, I can't give you what I don't have. But what I do have, I will sprinkle in your palms. And what I'm saying is, I want to give it to her while her hands are in this position to receive it. And when I wrote those letters and I text those to her and I sent them to her, and some was on voicemails, when I sent them to her, in my mind, I knew I was trying to save her life. And she said to me, I got one that I read about this bird. I had a dream about a bird, a white bird that was sitting by a lake and it kept swimming over where it's getting ready, trying to get the fish out the water. And I woke up from that dream, and all I'm thinking about is my baby girl. And I remember reading those things, and I remember we did a video on a show that I'm trying to get the copy of it. And when I read, because her birthday is Valentine's Day, so I was trying to release the book on Valentine's Day, but something happened with the editor. She couldn't get some stuff together, so it didn't release on Valentine's Day. But we still did the book review on Valentine's Day, and that's the first time she got to see the book. And she was sitting with me, was downstairs, and I was reading it, and we've been interviewed by the empowerment duo, and Lisa Santiago McNeil. She saw it. She said when I saw her cover her face and wipe tears, and she said, John, when you go back, I want you to read the book because it's a part that you said, and your baby girl's face lit up, and it melted me because she told me in her own words. She said, Dad, she said, what you did for me was the only thing that I wanted you to do. And I just wanted you to listen. She said, I didn't want you to try to find answers that I know you didn't have. I just wanted you to listen. Nobody else would just listen. Everybody listened, trying to answer some shit that they couldn't answer. And this is her words. These ain't my words. She said, they're trying to answer some shit they couldn't answer. But you sat there and listened. That's all I needed. And so when I'm trying to tune her into, because her story is for other people, it's not for me. I'm a part of that journey, but that's her story. And once she's ready to deliver that story, that's that book, man, she's going to go so far with that book, she ain't even going to know what to do with it. But I'm saying I was trying to save her life. So when people tell me they feel that book, I understand why you feel it because I know what I put into it.
And that's it. 101 love notes from Dad. But Josh Smalls. So yeah, yeah. Or you can actually get this. I think other than you can get this right here. The Black Light by Josh Smalls. You can look at both of them. Black Light by Josh Smalls. So,
we got the same amount, I think I got the same amount of books of yours that you got a month.
And Betty say, she biting at the bit, anxiously waiting for your book. It hadn't arrived yet. And one of them say, the invisible hand of Amazon, like footprints in the sand as you were on your journey, and you didn't even know it until the end when they help you collect the profits from your projects. That is the exact thing I was trying to say right there. That's it. Because I think the first time Amazon had sent me, I'm like, oh, all right, just and I went and saw how many books. So I'm like, what percentage is they getting? I'm like, maybe we're in this together and I didn't know it. But hey, we're definitely going to change something. We're actually going to. I actually publish other people's books and I publish books, but we're actually trying to create our own publishing company where we don't have to utilize Amazon the way we do right now. So we're trying to show how, because I think it's very important that everybody with words, you need something. You need to be able to hold something in your hand like this. You need to be able to say, oh, me, you can find me. You can find me between the pages of some things that I have actually held. I created this because you don't know how heavy a dream is until when you feel your dream, it don't feel like a book. It feel like a dream. It don't feel like a book. It feel like a dream. You say, man, I remember when I had this idea that I would do a book, and now it's not an idea no more.
Let me show you.
So, yeah, I'm saying you can DM either one of us if you're interested in writing a book, and we'll talk about the process and at least the first 5 steps on you being prepared to present your work to a publisher or whatever you want to do. We'll help you through that whole process. So yeah, my whole goal is that I think everybody has to leave a legacy of thought.
That's right.
Behind, because if you're a thinker, you're a writer, that's your thought. So leave a legacy of you behind because people need to know what you felt, and only you can tell your story.
Yeah. Check this out, AJ. So this is the copy you got, right? Let me show you. This is the one that I keep with me. See the size?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, it was an accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. What happened with Amazon? Amazon was fucking up basically, and so they published and released that without me viewing it. And I said, well, how the hell? Why? I said, even if I hit publish, why the hell would you publish it? You ain't sent me no copy to look at it first. So I had to stop that one and then I created the bigger one for the sake of seeing, so I knew what the wording looked like. And when I got it and I opened it up, I didn't want to publish the little one no more, because the big one felt perfect. And I said, that's how it works. And so I kept both of them. You can get a big copy or a small copy, still the same price. But the feel of this one, and then when I'm out doing a reading in public, it's better to have the bigger book. You know?
But not just that. If you're reading from the bigger book, they can see it from the back.
They see it from the back. Right.
They say, okay, I can see that book from the back. Yeah, I got it. See, because this right here is one of our books where the poster, let us write wherever it is.
Oh, wait, I got that one too. Hold on. Got that one right here.
Yeah, let us write, and that's 365 writing prompts. And I really think that it's good to have a thought starter kit.
Yeah.
And a thought starter kit is just giving you an idea. You may like the title, and when you write the poem, it changes. It transforms into something else, and now it's talking about something that you hadn't planned on writing. And that's why I say everything you write has to have a part of you in it. Yeah. Because if you say you want your poem to live, but you didn't put no blood in it, how's it gonna live if it ain't bleeding?
Talk about blood. This book right here. This is the Holy Grail, y'all. I cannot. I still haven't gotten through this whole book yet. I got to keep reading shit over.
Appreciate that, man.
He didn't fucking say it. No, he didn't say that. Let me go back and read. I hadn't finished this book yet. I have not.
No, that is excellent, man. That is excellent. I appreciate that, man.
When I heard, first of all, because I knew he was going, because you got my books before I got yours. But when I kept hearing about Harriet, every time I turned on, I had a Harriet thrown in my face every 5 minutes. I said, oh, wait a minute, I need that. And when bruh. So when I got it, I said, I'm not gonna go to Harriet first. When I get a poetry book, I just open up, and whatever page I open it up on, I read that first. Even if it's in the middle of the poem, I read that, and then I start over from the beginning. But instead of starting to begin, I went to Harriet after I opened up the book, because I had to, because that's been the talk. If you haven't read Harriet, you are missing out on life. You need to take your deep breath. That Harriet, man, I'm telling you. And the last poem I read in this one was A Letter to a Wingless Angel. In this one.
Oh yeah.
That was the last poem I read in here, and I hadn't got off it. I still got the bookmark in that place. Yeah. I noticed when you were praying, there was a light flashing on your ankle. I mean, I look, buy the book. That's all I'm gonna tell you guys. Buy the damn book. There's a undertone to your writing. It's kind of like you when you do flyers and you have the words here, and then you have a highlight that's kind of offset from the words, but it's the same exact word. It's like a reflection. There's the same undertone when I read these poems. I'm ready to go set my eye appointment with my glasses and shit, because I need some glasses.
Me too. Yeah. Now, one of them says, "Oh man, I've lost so many of my thoughts through old phones, and it got lost or stopped working, or computers that got stolen, and hard drives that crashed. My legacy is littered throughout all these devices." My thing is, let's get you some USB drives. Now start writing and start saving it. But see, the thing is, if you don't let it pass that long and you go and publish a book, you know you can pick up the book and find all your writings in it.
Oh, they'll be right there.
Yeah, right there in the book. Right there in the book with your name. Cynical, what up? I need you. I'm waiting for your book too, Cynical. It's time for you to. It's time for you to have a book. You've been out here stomping on these lives. Yeah. Because Unforgiven, man. Unforgiven is a poem I found the other day too, that I finished, and I had to stop for a minute because I was like, okay, so I don't want to change the idea or the thoughts I had, or make it not what I was trying to say. So I was trying to look at it. Okay, so did I paint the picture? I think every poem you write, you should say, okay, did I paint the picture I saw? Is the page big enough with the frame for the words that it contains, or did I press the words in there hard enough to where they're going to expand when you read them? Because every now and then you need to have some things expand beyond the perimeters of thought. So you say, wow, okay, I'm gonna stop right here because this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. I'm gonna stop right here and just let this soak in.
This shit kind of scary. That's a lot of times what happened. This shit kind of scary.
I was trying to find some. It was something in this poem, Unforgiven. It's let me see. Oh, it says the harrowing history of American oppression actually begins with America, starting with captains, settlers, Chris, pilgrims, contracts, agreements, treaties, the Declaration of Independence, the after-amble. Lady Liberty should be equipped with lights as a warning, red and blue in color, sirens, explosions, as if we are forever looking at the dawn's early light, and ramparts and streaming. I have tried to forget unthanksgivings and slave owner presidents' birthdays, black leaders' assassination holidays, Traitors' Day, as if Confederate generals would be celebrated in any other country. I keep asking myself, what is forgiving?
What is that?
What? But let's ask America what forgiving is.
Shit, for what? They're gonna say just pick up the newspaper.
It is.
Just
yeah. Forgiving is saying that. Okay, forgiving right now. I know what forgiving is. Okay, I just heard one of the Republican senators say, okay, so we need to move forward. So forgiving is not addressing the issue of insurrection. Forgetting is leaving the broken podiums on the ground and the computers lost and the letters stolen and say, let's move forward. That's what forgiving is. Yeah.
Just to put some red carpet down. That's all.
Yeah, you know, that led the one leading to the helicopter.
Yeah, that one. We gave you Kamala. What else do you want?
Really? Because that's what I'm saying. They say, well, we gave you a black president. I'm saying that, you know, you can't ask for more than that. Although we then gave us a white president that took everything the black president wrote and destroyed it.
Destroyed it. When the poem I'm going to write for Kamala is going in my daughter's book. Because when she's of age to understand what she's reading, past what that it sounds good, when she's able to understand past that, I want her to know. I texted my daughter. I said, listen, my 19-year-old. I said, I want you to look at what has happened. I don't care what she did in her past. I don't care what she didn't do, what she forgot to do, what she messed up. I want you to look at what she's done. She's the only woman standing in a position that was held by white men since it was been in existence.
Yeah.
She's the only.
Ain't never been a black man vice president. Never.
No, never. They're not even asked. They didn't ask your ass. You better run for president yourself. I ain't putting you on my shit.
Really? And then they say, no, you'd be good for it. But I think you'd be good as transportation secretary, transportation. Secretary of Defense. Yeah, we're gonna put you nigga warriors as Secretary of Defense.
I'm so happy that what's that dumbass Ben Carson the doctor. Yeah. I'm so glad I don't gotta hear about his dumbass no more.
Man, but you didn't hear. I'm saying last 6 months you hear nothing about him.
Nothing. Trump must have said. Trump said you dumb enough anyway. I don't need to talk about you no more. Get out of here.
Yeah. Now I think after the election was over, I think Ben Carson probably came, because he had all this high dollar furniture, so he probably had a bed in there too. He probably came out of the office and they say, and Ben said, what's going on? And say, Ben, they're saying we lost the election, but I don't think we lost. They're saying we lost. Okay, let me pack this shit up and get out of here. I'm glad this shit is over. I can finally go home, man.
Home, he's gonna go live in the Trump Towers because nobody want to see his ass. Black people don't want to see him. White people don't want to see him. Where you going? That hits some of the most ignorant shit, man. He was in the.
No, I'm saying, but I saw. Did you see his interview when the Senate was asking him questions about him overspending and him using his budget wrong and doing all these things? And they asked him because they started asking him questions about he was over HUD. If anybody know what HUD is, they asked him about HUD. He said, "Well, I don't know." They said, "Well, aren't you over HUD?" Yeah, and yeah, I am, but I don't know. They said, "Well, what are you doing in these communities for this?" Well, I don't know. It's like I never heard anybody over anything don't know much about anything they over.
Wait, he didn't know nothing.
No, nothing.
He didn't know nothing. Only thing he knew was that we got to cut back money.
Yeah, we done this cutback. Why? Because that's what they said.
That is unreal. Unreal. He didn't know nothing. I'm gonna tell you, Biden and Kamala could win over the United States black people if they open up rec centers. They didn't even got to fix the schools. If they put community centers in, they would win over all over again. They would walk through if they did that. Because I don't think they can fix the school system in a decent time. No way.
No, but see, I'm saying I think that's for me. I'm saying I'm not getting the shot. I'm not getting the vaccine. I had COVID. I'm not getting it. So until they show somebody else that had COVID that got it again that was worse, then we'll talk about it. But I think
AJ, wait. Listen, the person was in charge and one of the first people to get it and was talking about that it ain't good, she found up dead.
No, check it out. I want you to repeat that, but Betty say Ben Carson's words, his words slipped and fell all over the place.
They still
I can see that, and I think that's what happened.
My God. I don't have nothing.
And then they say, I think they always want to put them in HUD like Ben Carson. I think they do that so they can point the finger at them as the fall guy behind the housing problems built into the system, right? Because I'm saying, see, I try to explain to people because I heard, I'm not going to say this black guy, he has a talk show. He's a very prominent person. He was talking about how he didn't like Kamala, he didn't like Biden, and I'm trying to figure out it's only two people running. So if you're telling your people you don't like Biden, so who are you gonna vote for? But he was saying he liked Kamala, and he was trying to explain why. I'm like, so Kamala was Attorney General, first black female Attorney General of California. But before she was there, they had this white man that was Attorney General that was throwing the book at black people when they came into court. So all they did was move the black guy, put a black woman there, but she got the same book. So ain't no black woman came with no black laws to give you just us when it's always been just us. So you expecting a black person to hold a position that's always been a white position that had no specification of black anything, but you want them to come up with some black things for black people, and you just finally voted for your first time. I'm gonna need you to vote some more. I'm gonna need you to vote in this year. Somewhere. I'm gonna need you to vote in 2022, in 2024, or 2023 if there's a vote. I'm gonna need you to vote. I'm gonna need you to act like it matters. Like I need you to vote like you just found some new shit, like it's your favorite pie. I need you to vote like it's sweet potato pie, like it's pecan pie on Easter Sunday or whatever, whenever your birthday is, or German chocolate cake, whatever your favorite cake is. I need you to vote like that. I need you to vote like somebody's gonna do something to you if you don't. What's up, E. Cole, Blue Eye Poetry? What's up, man? Good to see you, man. And see, don't be putting that name on my screen. They say sounds like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I didn't say that. I didn't say who it was. See, I'm not saying it. But see, I just have a problem. I have a problem with black people that have a problem with black people. Not that you have a problem with black people. I have a problem with black people that voice their problem with black people over speaker systems and with loud noises in places where black people ain't. Like you just got to show that I got a problem with black people, so I'm not like them. I'm finna write a vote poem. Write me a vote poem, E.
Yeah,
And let me hear
that's what I want to hear. Yeah. Now be ready because you might get a rebuttal.
Now they told me immunity only lasts 3 months after you get COVID. Per my pandemic brother, unfortunately. Okay, now I believe that last 3 months. But see, I'm black, so I think I get an extra 3. So it might be 6 months for black people. Since COVID don't like us no way. You know, it ain't gonna leave as soon as it leaves white people. It's gonna try to stay with us a little longer. Yeah. At least that's my perception. No, but I agree. That's what my daughter told me too. She's a nurse. But now Cole, write a vote for him, because I really think that we should have noticed in Georgia when they had this runoff election and it was late night and they only won by this many. But I'm listening, and I remember when November the 3rd that 1 million registered minority voters in Georgia didn't vote, but we had a runoff election. So we sitting down here talking about the glory of winning the runoff, when my thing is, I see the problem of having a runoff. So we can't have glory and problems in the same sentence as though it don't matter. I'm saying at some point in time, we got to say, look, we got to stop making things close when they ain't supposed to. That's like Usain Bolt running backwards so somebody can almost beat him in the 200. He said, well, I would have won if I'd have ran the right way, but I knew I could win this. Let's stop playing with folks. Let's start being the best we can be in every entity that we are.
He said, it might have been if I'd have ran right.
And then they talk about, oh, you looking for justice? Oh, justice just left when you walked in here. Sorry.
Look, you looking for justice? We are too. Let me know when you find it.
Really? Now I got a line in the poem say, and find that bitch justice and string her up and give her 50 lashes a day until she recants, until she begs for forgiveness.
Damn. Because
that's in that mirror poem. I can't read mirror no more. I can't read it.
Justice is like the lotto numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like the lotto numbers.
Y'all always gonna be real close.
You almost had it, man.
Yeah. Justice is like you getting 2 numbers out of the 6 you need to win the $1 million in the lottery, but it's close. You missed the other ones by 1 digit up or 1 digit down.
Yeah. Better luck.
If you had just played the numbers you was thinking about. Man, y'all have no idea, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. What's up, Original Jodas, man? Yeah, explain why I can't read Mirror. Well, see, I was told I can't read Mirrors because we're in a cancel culture right now, and Mirror has so much truth in it. It's like leaking American blood. And you can't cut America too many times and still be black.
Oh,
because every now and then America gonna get mad because it used to be where you say, okay, they killed Martin because he was telling the truth, because he started talking about Vietnam, when he started talking about raising the minimum wage so we can have a living wage. See, they killed Martin for all these things, that not because he had a dream, it's because he started telling people what they need to do to make their dreams come true.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So a lot of times you got to look at, because when Malcolm started telling the truth and saying you can't impregnate these young girls and it'd be okay, you can't be talking about how this is going this way. But I went over here and I saw that Muslims are every color of every shade of color that you can imagine, and over there we look like family, but over here you saying it's not. So a lot of times we don't know how truth feels until you live it. You don't know what truth feel like until you walk it. So when you start walking in your own truth, your feet feel different. This ground don't shake no more when earthquakes come, because the earthquake is coming to wake them people up that sleep. You ain't sleep no more.
I have a let me add to that part with the seeing the different faces of Islam in other countries. I always break it down like this. It's kind of like medicine. So if I give you a full dose of some new medicine, it might cure you, but it might kill you. So I can only give you what I can give you from this before you, so you can get, so you don't, I ain't trying to kill you. And what I'm saying is, in hindsight, maybe it could have been redirected in a way that it said, okay, well, this is the way it is here. But in that timing, that was the right medicine at this time. That would not have give Malcolm what he needed had it was addressed in that manner. Now, obviously, there's some things that we can go back and forth about that we don't know about, but I think that was the essence of it, because this white face here is not the same one over there. Now, some of the fuckers over there, you know, some of the motherfuckers over there is even worse. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying as in a whole, right? It you know, that's what you saw. I mean, you wasn't traveling over there. In fact, you wouldn't have went over there if you wouldn't have got this medicine to get your mind straight to go over there. So there's a lot in that, you know, but I get it. I'm with you. There was a lot of things that, you know.
No, but I'm saying, but America can't handle truth coming from any direction.
No,
that was my point. Yeah. You know, because I think it's the gutter our leaders should reach out to. Since most of them can't connect, it's gonna take those of us coming out of the gutter, gotta game them. And Betty say this conversation can be found in the realm of Mr. Witt's 2 generations from slavery, number 18, number 19, and number 6. Too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, somebody stole my book.
The door you opened when you came in, right? He said justice blew right past you when you came in the door. That's like a poem I wrote. It said the wind smiles like you if we could see it. Or the wind is trying to smile like you because it's jealous. If we could see it,
it's trying like hell too. AJ, we've been on here 3 hours. I'm gonna read this poem. No, you got to read the poem. It's your turn. I read one. You got to read one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go and find. Let me see. Where is I'm gonna read now and then.
Okay, because we're gonna get out of here after that, because we've been on for 3 hours, and I need to get downstairs and get my life together.
Let's see. Where's now? Okay, now and then. It's in the beginning. Okay, right. Okay, this is now and then. On September 15th, 1955, the picture on the cover of Jet magazine should have changed the world. Back then, we were still asking America to give us what she promised. All that empathy, some of that compassion she kept bottled up until pain gets too heavy to bear. I would never ask my mother what she thought of now. Every week, same story. Every day, same story. Every year, same story. We can divide the weeks and days by her age and see how many stories she has had to bear. I did not think of it this way in the beginning. By now, she would have had a house filled with T-shirts with the faces of Black babies, Black people, unarmed, unaware when their last day of breath would be. How many street corners, corner stores, drive-through fast foods, alleys? How many stories can we tell in our communities of unsolicited confrontations we protect and serve? I'm guessing there are Klansmen wearing police blue in graveyards digging up old leaders, praying they find a note, a letter not completely decayed, a message in a bottle. America must create new excuses for these closed-out sessions. Once upon a time, there was this place called Land of the Free where huddled masses would go. There are still stories in books of their trouble getting here, arriving with $2.15 just to clothes in their backs, hiding in luggage as ship's cargo. Does not matter how, the plan was to get here. Once ashore, there were chances, golden opportunities. They were given land, animals, and feed. No, the humanity starter kit. Then came these people, let's call it came. Not took or stolen, we're not actually willing participants, not given boarding passes, we're not allowed a carrying bag, suitcase, or drum, we're not told how long to wear for what, did not know the captain's name or origin, did not know if it was the Jesus or the Clotilda, did not know what race they were or what race borrowed them from the land and soil they had grown accustomed to. I don't think groups were broken into races at this junction. In his story, upon arrival, let's call it parted from our kinsmen, not beating, not separated, not sold. Let's call it bartered for cash. Let's just say we were all strippers on stages, butt naked for public viewing. Then came this now. Don't think they were ready for this new way of communicating, of take of taking moving pictures, got too used to one story, one truth, turning off body cameras so lies fit well in the scriptures written by blue angels on police reports. I would never ask my mother what she thought of now. Most Americans still struggle to get over then. Get over America assassinating King and Malcolm. There are no more gospel songs to give happy feet to us downtrodden mourners. No more tears available for release. It is not the way, not that we don't cry no more. We are empty. Dry eyes will not let us not see. We cannot afford to sleep. America never sleeps. Keep planning how to get rid of us. Yeah, us, niggas, immigrants, Mexicans who belong here. Other dark-skinned, brown-skinned, tan-skinned people who belong here. There are plans to hush us. Separate us from the almost free we've yet to see. Plans to get rid of our ability to vote. Freedom of choice, freedom of speech, our freedoms of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom to protest. It no longer seems as if these freedoms are still free. Maybe like Mamie Till asked Mr. Rayner for a hammer. We should ask America for the same. Give us a hammer to open this crate of privilege. We need to reveal the ugly you've spent years trying to make pretty. It's past time we divulge this racism that has been on lockdown, show the world America's most horrid secret, the systematic approach of regression. Congress keeps a schedule on how to hide free from a people in distress for more than 400 years, or maybe we can go backyard barbecuing with 45, 99 years after Klansmen bombed Black Wall Street in Tulsa, have a beer, a toast, some moonshine on his White Hood rally on Juneteenth, share some ribs 250 years after General Granger showed up late with some free on his lips. Some remain quietly at your present homes and work for wages. Know this for sure, they will not be supported in idleness either here or elsewhere. We do not get whole messages anymore. Do not quite know how to listen when they come. I'm not sure if those who profess to be woke believe their community, their nation needs them to vote. Whenever election shows up unnoticed, you must be asleep, mentally deficient if you forget to register. My mother taught me to vote at first chance. We would not inquire to doctors why her movement has slowed, why her back hurts, why she stops and cries every now and then. They would say it's osteo whatever, a scolio something. They would never tell you Black women carry on their shoulders pain of generations, the struggle of a continent. Their backs are weighed down from too many tombstones, too many babies, boys, men, women gone too soon. I do not mean to be long-winded. It has been too long since we've had a moment to breathe without a boot, knee, or hands around our necks. This is the breath we've been needing, the air they unpromised us years ago. I would never ask my mother what she thought of now. I can still see them. I can still see then in the arthritis in her fingers from clutching memories she would not speak of, the swelling of her ankles, the pain in her knees. She will say, I'm kicking but not hot. Each of these in and outs is grace from a God that would never give us more than we can bear. She will say, this now is then, and this then is now. And from where she sits, ain't no difference at all.
My God. The air they unpromised us. The almost free we've yet to see. Shit. What was that about the t-shirt? Should be wearing a t-shirt. What was that?
No, it said she'd had a house full of t-shirts if she was. Let me go back, man.
Yeah, mine.
Let me see, man. I think it's on the first page.
I ain't quite. I can't remember what line it was. I'm not quite as keen in as you are.
I did not think of it this way in the beginning. By now, she would have had a house filled with t-shirts with the faces of Black babies, Black people, unarmed, unaware when their last day of breath would be.
That should almost make me cry right there.
But that's the one I want to do a video on, the first one, now and then, because I can see all the Black Lives Matter, all the things in the background. I asked, what's his name? He got a new song, man, talking about Marvin Gaye. God, what's this? He's on here. Thank you, Cole. Appreciate you. I'm trying to think, but anyway, I asked him if I could use his song.
Okay. For
this video. And I sent him a message. I said, well, if you want me to send you a poem, whatever. And I'm still waiting to hear back, because a lot of times people be so busy they don't listen. But I'm waiting to see, because I really want that song. We don't want that song as a beginning. But I got friends that could produce some shit. My sister sound like an angel. My family used to sing, so I ain't sure the songs. It's just that one, and the song is like a dedication to Marvin Gaye, to What's Going On, Marvin Gaye's album. That's what the song is dedicated to, because I think that's one of the most profound albums ever produced.
Yeah.
What's Going On, because it's actually talking about now, like what's going on right now. Okay, now what you finna read?
I got John? So there's a I posted this on my timeline some time ago, and I was skimming through. Like I told you, I was skimming through all of these posts I had, poems that I had locked in my thing, and for some reason I don't even remember writing this poem, but after getting a couple lines in, I was like, I want to read it because I want to see what it feels like.
I'm ready.
It just says timeline posts. That's what it's titled. It says.
Wait, hold up, man. You're gonna have to start doing that, man. I'm not gonna put up with you talking about this is untitled and this right here. Just call this the poem Ja read on January 22nd, 2021. We're not doing that too many more times, man. But anyway, go on. I'm ready now.
But a lot of them are unfinished, and I ain't get to sign them. But yeah, this one here, I was reading and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read this one here. It says, did they instruct you to be mean? Does your uniform come with an attitude adjustment or just artillery? I saw you smile, then I watched you turn red devil red because of a whisper. This room sickens me. This field of employment reaps of sour. I never want to be you. I bet your breakfast upsets your stomach. Every evil intent of your forefathers spirit this room when you say, all rise. Yet we stand. Worried hearts and troubled spirits like chess pieces. The pawns hating the image you portray, disgusted by the powers vested in your image. I hate the stink of your titles, the heavy color and ideas of royalty, the sound of you and your ties to this type of injustice. Your system is magnificent. It's rewarding but it's only rewarding to you and those that liken to your captives. Even the bearded and strong-featured faced women walk tall with their badges and guns. You are not here to help, only to make money, to cause confusion, imprison many, and empower those selected. I hate this system. Every inch of this black and white monopoly, the chess games you call equality, the delivery of this misfortune. I'm referring to the real convicts here, because you represent the ones you won't convict. The devil wears a shield of honor that he stole, hides behind righteousness created by those forefathers, the evildoers, the pagans and thieves, the liars and the deceitful ones, the one who stole the levels of degrees. I hate what you represent, but I remember what you called me. Every word that spat out like granted permission. I've built a wall for your protection. I found light in your hatefulness. Learn to survive in their foul orchestras. I treated them like stretch marks because they have a place in life. They show my growth and maturity, expandability. They prove I've been here. Announce my forward motion out loud. They have a purpose, as I too have a purpose. And it's not to be a footstool, not a pincushion. A punching bag you're looking for has retired. I gave you permission for the last time. I'm releasing the suspenders, so hold on to your own britches. Fasten your stockings to fit better. Unleash that falsetto. Make it rhythmic. Bundle them in bondages. Toss them like functions. Remember tea time. Breakfast is not up for debate. Splash the calm until it ripples, and then let that shit fade to black.
So I gave you permission for the last time.
For the last time.
And that's funny because I got one that says we we keep apologizing for shit that ain't our fault.
Ain't our fault.
It say, does your uniform come with an attitude adjustment or just artillery? And it's some finer. The devil wears a shield of honor. Now that is the truth. I'm going to say Coach John talking about. And I'm going to say untitled. That's untitled number 3,859.
That's 62C.
But yeah, I'm saying this is Thursday 10 times now. You will find Coach John out here. If you know somebody want to talk politics, you know somebody running for office that needs some backing, tell them to come and we'll talk to them. You know somebody want to talk about whatever it is that's going on. We're willing to discuss whatever it was, bringing them in, and we'll have this conversation. Bring your questions next week. Come on through, man. I appreciate everybody here, man. Thank you so much, Betty. Thank you, One Eyeism. Thank you, Emmanuel, thank you everybody that came through here. Lee Purcell, thank you for popping through. But follow Coach Ja. His name is Coach Ja Smalls on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Coach Ja Smalls, he does a show every morning called Coffee Time with Coach Ja. Well, every morning, every weekday morning.
Yeah.
You know, like your morning show. Coach Ja Smalls. We're gonna make it a morning show. It's gonna be bigger than the morning show, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So Coach Ja, man, and that poem he just read don't have a title. He just throwing us curveballs by not having titles. So we gotta buy all his books and search through all the poems just to find the poems that he read to us that didn't have a title. So Lee, man, we need to talk. Well, okay, Coach Josh, it's you, man.
Listen, I want to say this to everybody who on it. First of all, we love you. This show is not about us, it's about us. And I want y'all to understand that what makes this platform work is by you all being involved. I mean, we can sit here and shoot the shit and have fun and make jokes and share poems. That's all a beautiful thing. But we want to make sure that we don't lose the momentum of having people, our people, and people who are thinking like we're thinking. We need to make sure that we get this government in order for us to have a better way of living. And don't, like I said, if you don't want to vote ever, don't vote for yourself. Vote because we're asking you to.
Because we're your friend. We're your friend, yeah.
If we're gonna be friends, I'm gonna need a vote. That's gonna seal our friendship. I don't care if you stole my money last week. I'm gonna let that pass if you can vote when I ask you to go vote. I'm lying.
Yeah, just on one day every year. Just one day every year.
Listen, and you don't even have to leave your house. Mail-in ballots. If you just refuse to vote, because that's lazy if you can't fill out a mail-in ballot while you're sitting at home drinking your tea in your drawers that you ain't washed in 3 days. You can do that. Fill out a mail-in ballot, man, and mail it in. Drop it off. Have the kid drop it off, you know. But there's an importance to us keeping this momentum. And I want to live in a good neighborhood always. I want you to live in a good neighborhood. But I want us to have people that's going to hold police brutality accountable and injustices and these football-sized sentences that are illegal. I want people that are going to hold these people accountable. And we're not going to put these people in place until we put these people in place. Really? And my thing is, I don't care if you're racist and you're a judge. I just want your boss to be going by the books.
No, but check it out. Betty say if they don't want to vote for us, she say vote for me. So we gonna get you to vote.
One way or another. But if we can get the boss, right? If the boss in charge is doing the right thing, we don't care who's working underneath him. And I'm not talking about the president. Stop worrying about the presidency. We can't think about the presidency until we fix this shit right outside our front door. If your neighborhood is in order, that means you got somebody in place putting it in order. Don't tell me it ain't that simple as it is. But they're going to cater into the people that's voting.
Yeah.
That's it. They're catering to the people that's giving them 5 cents here and 30. Give up some change. If we give us some change, that gives them money to buy a stamp and an envelope. And then they can mail out the ballot. And they can vote for me. If we don't do that, they ain't coming to our neighborhood. I don't blame them. I'm not coming. Listen, if I'm selling some shit and I know you ain't buying, what I'm going to your house for?
Yeah. And on top of that, see, we can start saying, okay, if we set up a fund where people send in $1 a week, and we pick these, we pick the man and we talk to in Charlotte, or we pick somebody in Texas, or we pick somebody, and we start sending money to candidates. See, because Georgia worked this year because the other 49 states knew that they needed support. So other people started, it was out-of-state money that funded Osloff and Warnock to win these positions. Yeah. So until we understand that we are out of state, so we can be out-of-state money. We can be out-of-state money for any position. If you know somebody's running, that's why look and see who's running your office, who your governor is, who's your city councilman, when the Senate seats or the representative seats are up. See who your attorney general is, and let's make sure we got somebody running against some 18 attorney generals that thought they could overturn 20 million minority votes.
Yeah.
Dirty draws need to vote too. Man, I appreciate everybody coming on here, man. Thank you, man. I'm it's just an honor, man, every week, man, to come here, man. I'll be looking forward to it, man. Thursday, definitely.
I'll be looking at the time on it, man. We've been on here for 3 hours and 25 minutes.
It don't even seem like it. Yeah.
and we didn't do a whole bunch of poetry either. So, you know.
No. And we both got people we need to go take care of now. So yeah. We're gonna do that. But thank y'all. We love y'all. I appreciate it. Come on back. Come back with your questions. Come back with your homework. Your homework is to look at whoever runs your city, your state, who your representatives, who's over your community, who's over the school board, who the governor is, or who the mayor is in your town. What senators run your state? Were your senators the ones that said they didn't want the votes to count? Were your attorney general the ones that signed on to the suit that Texas had against other states where it don't even make sense? They can't do that. There's a law that they can't. But let's act like we are about something. If you don't want to vote, let's find this information out and vote for me and Ja. You know, like Betty said, vote for her. Yeah. Let's start this, because we just saw how voting changed America. Now let's make voting change your community, change your city, change your state.
Yeah. Everybody asking me, talking about that she's sleeping in my house. Now I'm just in pain. The cold weather hurts. I still have a bullet in my face, so I still have a bullet wound to my face that still bothers me, and it's bothered me a lot today. So that's probably what y'all saying. It's not really sleep; it's just pain. But you know, listen. If I can stand up here and fight with a bullet in my face and my jaw and my eyes all messed up, then y'all damn it can fight on the other side too. That's how I see it. And I'm not gonna give up on you, and I don't want you to give up on me. So let's just stick in there together. We all family. And hell, I might not live in your community, but my community is the same as yours. We need help.
Yeah, let's help each other and see if we can help each other by helping ourselves. Because just think, you can't, if you can't walk, you can't walk next door and help your neighbor when they call for help. So let's understand that it is time that we identify the things we need in our communities, and let's make it work. Because we can't build a community if we don't actually start acting like neighbors and start acting like these other people in the community are a part of it.
Yeah.
But man, I love you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. I'm gonna say this. I want y'all to come back and check it out. Man, I appreciate everybody on here. All the comments. Carla, man, thank you so much. She's the president of the last man in judiciary. Yes, it is.
It is. Yeah. All we gotta do is get on this level, the ground level. And it ain't that hard.
Better say warriors fight wounded too.
Yeah.
but that's what a warrior is. A warrior is like a fight.
Miss Betty, we bring you up next week. You're gonna talk with us next week. We bring you on the show next week.
Yeah. Hey, love you, man. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Yeah. Instagram, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm out. I'm gonna save this live. Come back and check it out. Every Thursday, Coach John and I starts 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's such a dope show. If you got somebody who want to talk to us, or you got questions, send them in or bring them in and let us know.
Let us find the answers. Yeah. All right, AJ, I'm going to send you the link once we get done, bro. You know how I do
it. Okay, appreciate it, man. Love you, man.
I appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay, peace. Blessings.
Peace and love.